Yeah, sort of. There's a couple holes.
We need to make sure we don't get too active because I'm gonna start sweating bullets.
Way to be classy when we come on. I just rip a belch.
Too active. Too animated.
Yeah.
A lot of hot air over here.
Sometimes on the sports program and during wrestling, if I turn off the air conditioner, which I fucking rarely do, I don't care if there's a hum. I don't
Yours isn't too bad.
Yeah, I don't give a cunt suck if there is some. Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
This isn't too bad.
No, this was good.
No.
I mean, you can hear it, but who cares?
Right.
Look, man, you either hear an air conditioner or you hear 3 grown men die.
Complaining. 3 grown men complaining about dying.
But so anyway, what I was saying is sometimes when I turn down the air conditioner for one of our shows at my house, I'll know it's about time to wrap up a show. When I feel that little bead of sweat roll down my back to my ass, I'm like, well, time to play that song, baby. It's like a good timer.
Like an hourglass, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From my neck to my ass crack.
Yep.
The sweat is telling me it's time to go home.
When I was like 12, I think I had a couple friends stay the night, and I was really prude-ish, I guess. But my friends were in the back seat and they were talking to the one guy, and he did this shit just to fucking push buttons. We were going to the movie. We were going to see like Wayne's World. So I don't remember whatever year that was. Maybe I think it's Wayne's World 2.
Mm-hmm.
So 92 or something like that. But he goes, I love it when I start to sweat because it starts to roll down my back and then it goes down the crack of my, and then he stops. He's like, back. What's that?
I'll mention it on the show.
Okay.
I'll make a new one for the network.
Gotcha.
We can make one now if you want.
Wooden nickel.
All right, well, let's go. We got some people rolling in. So,
Let's do it.
We got 5 eyes.
Fired up.
Oh, it's the Time Spent Poorly show with your host, Edwardo at TSPN Media on the Twitter. And of course, we got Hudds Magruder, good friend Chris in the studio, also a co-host. He's also on the show as a regular person. He's always been that way. And then you got myself at Derek on TSPN on the Twitter. Derek for short. That's what my friends and family and ones that hate me call me. And we are here. Boy, it's been a bit too. It's been a minute.
Yeah, about a month.
It's been a hot minute.
This beer is so good right now.
Oh, yeah. Of course, if you follow Time Spent Poorly, the website or their YouTube page or Facebook, there has been other programming. So there's been other things.
Yeah, we've got the hot mic or the hot mic channel,
right. And you got the
time to go mad.
Time to go mad. Yeah. Your show you got going on. You got sports program on Saturdays. We got Smart Mark Wrestling Radio on Thursdays, which we were out last Thursday, but we will be back in action, my friends, in 2 days' time. Very excited. Chris and I are hosting that with Dusty Katzenberger.
Yeah.
We need to get him over here, too.
Enjoyable.
That's a great time. If you see the scroll at the bottom there, it says the Wooden Nickel, the official, unofficial bar of sports program. That's true. But they're also kind of the official, unofficial bar of Time Spent Poorly in general. And we'll update that eventually. But if you are in the area and you are looking for a good place to take a drink, go down to the Wooden Nickel and go talk to our friend Brian Nygaard there. And sometimes he gives deals to people who listen to these shows. That's a fact.
Nice.
That's a real thing.
The only thing better than a good drink is a cheaper version of that good drink.
That's absolutely true. And also, it's a great little bar. And also, if you are in the area and you are afraid to go to bars because of social distancing, it's a very spread out bar that is easy to social distance in. You can get a table with your group of friends, and you don't have to be very near another table.
Which is nice.
It is, yeah. And you know what? That was prior to COVID. It's like they did it on purpose. And I've always said that, and I've always said it.
No, they knew ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Oh, and make sure you go check out our Patreon, too. That's all the plugs. That's all the plugs. That's most of the plugs.
fully plugged in.
Boy, you guys, I'm glad to be back.
Oh no shit.
Me too.
It's
This
nice.
setup is awful comfy.
Oh
This is
yeah, we didn't even
nice.
mention that.
New form, well, not format, new looking show.
Well, I mean, this desk is the same, but look at. I mean, we got the fridge right here.
Love that.
This was off camera for a long time, and
It
I
is.
feel real special now that it's like right.
I
here
like it
next to me.
because the fridge is like an honorary member of the show.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
So
been.
now the fridge is here. It's part of the show. It's always been, and it's always been that way. I don't know if you've ever watched sports program. That's
I know
like
your
our catchphrase.
You're
on
Sean.
there. Yeah, he's been on the show, and he's always been that way, and I've always said that since
the
this
beginning.
year.
Since time immemorial.
He's always been there. I've always said that.
So I
We'll
took
get there.
down the big wall.
Yeah, you took down the wall.
Yeah. Dismantled the wall.
You dismantled the wall.
Mr. Gorbachev.
So I took down that wall. It's laying in the driveway right now.
I saw that.
Um,
Which is funny because when I first saw it, I was like, "What is that?" Like a fucking idiot. I literally knew what that was, and I was like,
What
"Oh,
is he building?
wonder what he's working on." Like a fucking idiot.
no, it's just what I stopped working on. This shop,
now you
I
have
should have
boards?
taken like work in progress pictures because it still looks disorganized in places, but that whole floor, you couldn't see anything the other day. I had shit everywhere. I had
Also,
stuff off
didn't
the
some-
shelves and I got rid of some things.
Didn't some members of the Hudds Magruder family get some different pieces out of furniture out of that?
Yeah, there's a
there's a
dresser outside.
dresser outside for me to throw in the car. on
Hudds
the
is
way home.
taken on the way out.
Did my brother ever come pick up that?
Yeah.
He did.
Can you get that dresser in your car?
Oh yeah.
If you can't, talk to me after the show.
He could ride shotgun.
Okay. If you can't, talk to me after the show.
Well, you have quite the bed.
I'll hang around for a minute and make sure you can get that in your car.
But yeah, so took those down and we ordered a new sectional for our living room
Oh,
downstairs.
so that's where this comes
That's
from.
where-
And so this is actually from our upstairs living room that we bought when we moved into this house. And it was a real cheap steal of a deal. Like it was like 8 pieces of furniture because it included the rug, these 2 pieces of furniture, a chair, 2 end tables, a coffee table, and a couple lamps. So it was like $1,700.
Jesus, that's a great deal.
But these have
but
had
you-
more.
But
more
you didn't rent
problems.
to own, though, so
No.
it ended up being $7,000.
7,000.
No, I didn't rent
No,
it.
you didn't do it. Okay.
No, we paid
Well, that's
cash.
good. Good boy. Good boy on you. I'm proud of you for that. Don't do you guys look, if you watch the show, if you ever want to learn anything from the show, remember that those things are poor people tax.
Oh yes.
But also, idiot.
No, Rick didn't get kicked off. He's just honorary friend of the show, and I assume he'll be back one day. Thank you for asking, though. We appreciate
That's my sister.
people chiming in, hanging out. Hello, Chris's sister. You look like
She
a nice gal.
She will soon be providing me with another nephew.
Oh nice.
Well, congratulations.
That's where my
Yeah.
brain went when you talked earlier. It's like, oh,
So I had good news. Yeah.
So we're taking the downstairs couch and recliner and moving it upstairs, and then the new section. We're getting a new sectional and putting it downstairs. It's
So the kids mostly use the stuff upstairs, correct?
yes.
The bulk of your TV watching is in the basement, right?
Most of what we do, it happens in the basement. We do not exit the basement very often. I can't find that picture.
I rarely leave my basement.
You guys are kind of reverse.
Oh, here.
Both of your families then are kind of reverse normal households, though. Then, right?
No, I'm the only one that spends most of the time in my basement.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Does that whole thing, do all those recline?
These two, the 2 here do, and then the one on the other end reclines also. And there's USB ports in the cup holders. Everything's electric, and there's a USB port on the other
Are
end.
you from the future?
Yeah.
That's a little Brian Regan bit for you. Using my computer.
With the US
Are you
port.
from the future? That's nice. That's gonna be really nice. I like that. Nice.
Oh, the dresser? Yeah. That
It
was
is a cool dress.
That dresser, we repurpose. He's going to repurpose it and like clean it up and repaint it. We did that because it was pink once,
Okay.
It might have been Nicole's when she was a kid, but then we redid it for our kids or Cameron or one of the two of them, and we just spray painted it, and so like anything he moved on the top of it like scratched off the paint.
It looked solid as a rock.
It's a good piece of furniture. Like that's the hard thing about getting rid of old furniture is it's way better. It holds up way better than the shit that you can buy at any furniture store now.
Yeah. That's nice.
I got a couch at Goodwill. You probably saw it way back in the day if you ever came by. That place Rick's there now, but it used to be Rick and Matthias and I. And $10. That couch was, you could have hit it with a car and you would have been like, is the car okay?
It's funny is I probably met you at one point when I was in high school also. Because that's actually how I know Rick is because he would do the LAN parties.
Yeah.
And you were probably at all the ones I went to.
No, I was usually drunk and wandering the streets.
Okay.
Once the sun went down. I'd close the bar at 10 because I worked at the Lion at the time in the Exchange. We close at 10, and once a month I would come home and oh no! Oh, party song. Sorry. I would go up on the roof with a glass of scotch and a sandwich and put mushrooms on the sandwich, and then I would go wander, and then the rest of the time I would just go out to the bar. So I missed most of the LAN parties because I wasn't really into Halo, and that was generally what he played.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was much more interested in
Well, you missed a hell of a time.
my newfound ability to go to the bar.
What was really funny is I remember those days my friends would go to different houses like that and do LAN parties, and they're like, this is safe because we can go there and drink beers and then just crash there. And I'm like, yes, it absolutely is. And then I would go and drink fucking Mountain Dew. I still didn't do it.
It didn't tax your reflexes then.
Some
of those kids would have 2 or 3 beers and they'd end up getting taken out.
I think I went the normal.
I fixed your mic.
Thank you.
I had the wrong one on.
Oh,
That's why it was.
that's why I sounded so echoey.
Yeah, you were very quiet. I was like, "What is going on with Chris? He's not that far off."
It was picking me up over there from off the.
Yeah.
I think I went that normal progression where when you first start drinking, you start drinking hard alcohol first because you can mix it with a bunch of shit and not try to not taste it. You know?
Yeah.
Did you do that too?
I didn't do that. Well, no, not initially. My thing was all about branding, because I would be the guy. Like I was always wanting to like get Marlboro cigarettes, and a 6-pack, and in my own set, like because we'd always get somebody to buy us beer because we were always camping.
Right.
And we go because we lived in fucking the woods, so we were always everywhere we'd go camping, but we'd get somebody to buy us a bunch of fucking Schmidt Ice, which I don't think they make anymore, or if they do, it's not here. But it was called shit ice, but they buy a whole bunch of that. But I always like had special instructions to get me a 1 6-pack of Budweiser.
That's funny.
So I'd have my 1 6-pack of Budweiser and my cigarettes, but I never really did the hard alcohol thing until a little bit later.
See, I started off. I think mine's more common. I started off doing drinking. When I started off drinking, I started with rum and coke, like a Captain Morgan and Coke, like a rum and Coke, because you could kind of mask it.
But you could mix it then and not get sick.
But then I realized how much money I was spending at the bar. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to try drinking beer then. I knew what beer tasted like. I mean,
was this at the bar?
Yeah, I mean,
I was talking like high school. I thought.
So I didn't drink in high school.
Oh,
I was. I hate to say this, but I was actually. I was straight edge in high school.
I was pretty
and we
straight
all know
edge.
how much you hate the straight edge movement.
I don't like them now. No. No, I was. That's actually more Dusty than me, but.
Oh yeah.
Because I love CM Punk and he's straight edge. But I was a straight edge guy. I say that because I hate the term straight edge because I think it's super lame, but I know that I actually was straight edge because I listened to straight edge bands, and I do recall that being a thing. I don't know if I ever walked around and was like, no, I'm straight edge. Drinking's stupid. You're a piece of shit if you drink.
It's almost being like a vegan. You have to talk about it, like CrossFit.
Right. So that's why I don't want to 100% claim being straight edge, because I wasn't ever really. I was like that at one point, like between 15 and like 17. I was like drinking stupid. But after 17, if I got invited to anywhere, I just didn't drink, and I would just say, "Oh no, thanks, I'm good." And usually, what I would do is, if I got invited to a party somewhere, I would just go, "Nah, I've had my limit," which was 0. But people kind of tend to leave you alone, where they're like, because they're like, "Oh, he must have already had a couple red cups full from this Keystone crap of
jungle juice."
A jug or a Keystone, or. So I'm like,
were you there for that? That was my 21st birthday.
Oh, I don't know.
So this girl, Rick or Matt or somebody was seeing, made a cooler full of jungle juice.
Ooh.
And my birthday was on a Sunday, and so at midnight we went to the bar, and every drink I drank was on fire. That was how I wanted my 21st birthday to be something that I remembered, and so I just went with a theme of drinks that are on fire. And we got home, and Ron was waiting. He didn't crack into the jungle juice yet, but he and Rick and Matthias and Jose all like stripped to the waist, and they were just picking the cooler up and drinking out of it. And oh my God, everybody was just a fucking wreck.
I miss Jose. I don't see him very often anymore.
I don't either. Last time I ran into him was somewhere near A&B, but
he was working security at the fair a few years. It's quite a few years ago now.
Last time you saw him?
Last time I saw him.
Yeah. It was, I don't know. Those were weird days. I drank an awful lot.
I drank an awful lot.
Yeah.
You guys, I still really want to go back to the Elks soon.
Yep.
I've been going.
I haven't been able to go.
Well, I haven't gone to a meeting, but I've been eating there. Probably.
We haven't had one. The last meeting was your initiation.
Bless you. I was gonna go that Friday after, and then we decided not to, and then we went camping like last week, and then the 2 weeks before that I was working on my book, so I was just kind of trying to focus on that. So I want to go soon and try to just have some fun.
Yeah, Alex and I go out every Wednesday and shoot pool from like.
I could probably find a Wednesday. 4 till when?
4 until whenever. Depends on how much he wants to play video games on Wednesday.
I could probably find a time to meet you there and hang out with you and your kiddo at
we just
on a Wednesday. I don't really do
pool.
I don't do much on Wednesday evenings.
The bar opens at 4:30, 5 o'clock. 4:30, I think she shows up, and I love it out there though. I would spend
sometime.
It's great.
Yeah, I would spend all of my time out there.
I still have only been there the once as a member now. But I always have fun when I go out there. Now Bree is back at her old job. She starts next week.
Nice.
Her Christmas parties are there every year, and I'm really excited for that Christmas party.
Yeah.
They know how to party.
I love that.
So is she still doing the internship too?
Going back, huh? Going back. Wants that cheddar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she still in that, looking into that, or is it something
going to look into it? Yeah, still.
Yeah.
It's just
not enough consistency.
Boy, there's so much money at the mill.
Yeah.
There's so much money.
Yeah. They might as well be printing money out there.
It's so much money. And through all of COVID, which I'm sorry if you're watching the show and COVID coming up. I'm sorry. It's just nothing else, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just through all COVID, they were all essential. So they haven't had to worry about just any of the annoyances of that world.
Yeah.
And I am jealous of that.
Yeah.
And somewhat jealous of you too, because you work from home. So you haven't had to as much.
I don't have the hassle of the biggest hassle I have are listening to, like, every time we do a company meeting, someone asks about when are we going back into the office, and obviously there's a contingent of people that are like they need that office environment, obviously, because they're just like hung up on it. But and the standard reply is not until there's like a level set basically on everything. Like they're taking a very pragmatic approach, and why not if you can work from home?
If
everybody can
there's
work
not
from
a loss
home
in
and there's not
productivity,
yeah.
they shouldn't even open the office back up. They should sell that building.
Right. That's what I feel like. But
my neighbor works there too, and she's like, I have a stable enough internet connection at the cabin that I can go and not even come into town unless I need groceries. I was like, right on. Let us know when you're gone, and we'll make sure nobody is at your house. She hasn't been gone much, but it's an option. And she can just go out into the woods whenever she wants and get all her work done and live out in the fresh air.
That's pretty cool. What does she do?
She
works
thing.
at
Ward
same
does.
place I do.
Same place. Okay. You so you social distance anyways.
Me? Yeah,
I'm at your
that's my lifestyle. Yeah. I don't like people. No.
So do you go shopping and stuff though?
Yeah.
Do you wear masks?
No, I don't know. Too many of the CDC guidelines, the WHO suggestions all say don't wear a mask unless you're caring for someone who's sick. And I'm fine with that.
Everything I've seen from the WHO just says, out here in the fields, I work for my meals.
I couldn't pull any of the lyrics, but I was thinking
Teenage Wasteland. Sorry.
And they're so bitchy about stuff. Like you look at the news and you listen to people like, I was listening to Bill Burr's podcast, and he's like, "Oh, you people just can't put masks on and just put on masks so this can all be over." Like the only way this is going to be over is for it to burn itself out, and whether that's now or not. Like we were supposed to flatten the curve for 15 days. It's been 162 or something. Like it's time to there was no curve to flatten. The hospital was never overrun. They decided not to put most people on ventilators, so the ventilator shortage was just kind of a scam too. Like, you know, the narrative has changed so much, so many times, and Florida's looking like it's going to be all right. They're having this huge uptick in cases, and it hasn't seemed to be as bad. The only thing it's been bad for is the economy.
So what news are you watching that I'm not watching?
What do you mean?
Well, because I keep seeing anytime, like if I turn into like ABC News, everything, like the fucking sky's falling every day. So
I just watch the CDC site. I check it 2 or 3 times a week, and their recommendations are don't wear a mask unless you're tending to someone. And I don't care what Fauci says. I don't care what the news says. The news is so
seems
fucking
to be the right
wrong.
one to follow. But.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to follow anybody, and I don't really, I mean, you can get on the whole, don't trust the government. But if the CDC, the people who is the Center for Disease Control, says you don't need to wear a mask unless you're caring for someone.
Look, man, I read Hot Zone. I trust the CDC. I'm not even kidding. I read the Hot Zone, and they're who to follow.
Yeah,
we started wearing masks here within the last few weeks more than we were before. But that's because I'm all of a sudden I was around my grandpa when he was dying, and I was around all my like older family members. My dad's got a heart condition, he's had 2 heart attacks.
It is different.
So I kind of been working from that. Like I'm not working from being worried about myself. It's more like if I can do anything to mitigate. Like I don't wear necessarily around him, but if I'm going out in public, I'm trying to be more.
I have recently succumbed to a trend that helps with the optics. I have started wearing a bandana. Wear it to work, wear it to the store, wear it to stuff. And what I do is when I go into a store that I don't normally go into. So if I go to Rose Hours up in the orchards here, or A&B up in the orchards, or A&B downtown, Those are my 3 stores I mostly shop at in the liquor store. Those are my 4 stores I mostly shop at. In those 4 stores, I don't wear a mask. I go in there every day. Everyone else is wearing a mask. Everyone at Rosars is really good at social distancing. They keep fucking far away. I mean, if you're going around a corner and somebody sees you, they will go out of their way to not go near you. Like people at Rosars are really good.
I so hope that that
I love that. Yeah. And then A and B, I feel like you can get A and B. You can get in and out without talking to any human being in there. You can go so quick.
Yeah.
Downtown and the Orchards, great stores. And then I go to one gas station up here in the Orchards to get snooze and a beer or candy or something, So I have the same places I really go to. All those places I don't wear the mask. When I go to work, they've implemented a mask rule at work. If you're out of your immediate space, they want you to wear a mask. I rock the bandana.
Yeah.
The bandana, mostly for optics, so I don't get in trouble. But because if you wear it loose enough, it's just easy. You pick it up,
pull it up,
you put it over your face. You go do the thing you're going to do, and you go back. So it's so much easier. And, by the way, it's a bandana, so you look like you're in Red Dead Redemption. So you look fucking cool at this point.
You need to get a couple of 6-shooters, cap guns. Yeah. Dude, I'm robbing your train.
I'm not going to lie. When I bought a bunch of them, actually. And when I first got them, I was like, come here, boy. Which I love that game. But honestly, though, it has helped. So now, but then I'm not wearing it tonight. Because I took it off because we're coming here. But if I'll go to so if Bree's like, hey, let's run over to Costco. I already have that sucker on because I've been wearing it almost as a fashion statement. I'm like Le Champion Jericho, which by the way, he has a scarf that says Le Champion. And I was like,
maybe
is that a purchasable item? Because I might go buy it. I might.
I've seen some cool ones. Have you seen that one that they're just normal masks, but they have Arnold screaming from Total Recall on them?
Yeah.
And the whole family's got it on. It's a fantastic
I think it's awesome that businesses have implemented capitalism and are making masks. I think that's cool. I follow the comic book store, the comic book shop up in Spokane. They have 2 locations up there. Great place, by the way. I follow them on social media. They're selling a ton of different Marvel, Spider-Man, different masks. And it's like, man, that's so smart. How cool of these companies to like fucking figure it out right away. Be like, hey, let's make masks. Let's make money off of them.
I don't think there is a disease. I think the whole thing was invented by the mask industry.
The mask people.
It was the mask industry. It's Big Mask that's doing
masks and the divider.
Oh, the
plexiglass
plexiglass square
because some
company.
of those things, you go in there and like it's like, how did you fabricate these so fast? Because it's like they're like all like beautifully.
They're all finished.
Yeah,
and you're like,
this doesn't look Did this come from a warehouse?
I had a really funny
manufactured them for 3 years.
I had a really funny bad joke that I said at work that a couple people were not thrilled about, but it's so funny now it bears repeating. Somebody said at P1FCU that a lot of the employees aren't wearing masks. And for when they're doing interviews and stuff, a lot of them aren't wearing masks still. Like they want to shake hands, like everything is just normal. And it's like, I will say through all this, I'm not shaking your fucking hand, buddy. Keep your goddamn hands to yourself. I don't need to
I've always felt that way.
Yeah. So keep your hands to yourself. We're fine.
Yeah.
Let's be distance. Okay.
Well,
anyway, hold on. I gotta tell you my joke.
I
gotta tell you my joke there.
Okay.
Hold your thought. Hold your thought.
Jesus, we get you guys a love seat, and all of a sudden there's rubbing going on.
Hold your thought. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I'm in a fucking fantastic mood, and it's the best mood I've been in
years.
3 years.
This love seat does help. I think
the love seat. It is nice. Yeah,
I like it. You're a cute couple.
Thank you. We've always said that. It's always been a thing we've always said. Walmart. It's sad.
LuLaRoe.
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 LuLaRoe and essential oils.
We don't need anything but stretch pants and essential oils.
That's right. So my joke, I said, they said they're not doing these interviews. They're doing these interviews without masks and stuff. And I was like, well, it's not surprising to me because the only masks that I've ever felt that P1FCU cared about was those 4 girls that wore blackface for that Jamaican bobsled
cool
team.
runnings thing.
Yeah,
I love that.
And I said that joke at work, and I was in front of several people, and they, which is funny. You say that joke. I'm literally making fun of. By the way,
I got in a lot of Facebook fights over that.
I'm literally making fun of 4 people and a company over something, and I was getting glances like I just said something racist.
Yeah.
I'm making fun. Fucking satire. You know what? No.
No one understands.
I segued myself. Keep your thought.
It's already gone.
No, it's fine. You guys still got it. I segued myself here. Hulu rumored. This is a rumor. I don't think it even happened because we can still find those episodes. But episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia removed blackface episodes. Episodes of the blackface ones where they're being Danny Glover in
Lethal Weapon 5.
It's satire. They literally point out on the show how wrong it is to do it because context is everything. There's an episode of Community where Chang dresses as a dark elf.
So about that, Rick showed that to Alex and I 2 weeks ago, and then within a week it was off Netflix.
Right. On the show, Chang wears the blackface. Or he's a dark elf.
Yeah, he's a drow face.
And literally Shirley on the show, the black woman on the show goes, we're not going to say anything about about this hate crime over here. Literally makes reference to it.
Yeah.
In a show, when you create a character who is an offensive character and other characters make note of that instance of blackface, that becomes satire. And that's context.
Yeah.
Just banning those episodes.
It doesn't erase it.
So today,
I don't have a drow face joke anymore.
Right. Today, my joke, I was satirizing those 4 girls and PUNFCU.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't walking around with blackface. I'm not the 4 girls. I didn't do it.
And you also weren't justifying it.
No,
You were mocking it.
Mocking it. Making fun of it.
Which really should be fine. I should be able to mock people in blackface.
Context is everything. I'm not Fred Astaire running around in blackface. Context is everything. When you watch those episodes, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. First off, those 4 characters are the worst versions of those people.
Right.
On purpose.
Yeah.
And then, not only that, even though Dennis is a piece of shit, he's a terrible character. I love the character, but he's a terrible person.
Right.
When Mac wants to be Danny Glover, he puts the blackface on because they keep switching roles.
Right.
Whenever Dennis plays Danny Glover, he doesn't do blackface because he's like, oh, that's racist. Like but then Mac does it. But,
this guy who rapes women.
Right. But Mac is stupid.
Yeah.
So he does it. And Dennis is like, dude, you can't do that. Like, so the context is everything.
I wonder if that's why they took Mad Men off, why they didn't renew it. Because
it was set to end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it. I don't think Mad Men had any.
Roger does blackface.
Right. Yeah.
At a garden party on Derby Day.
Because you guys, satire and comedy over stuff like that is meant to make its viewers think. So actually, I could make the argument, and will make the argument, that satire is actually strengthens the movement.
Right.
Because we're showing in pop culture that it's a bad and stupid idea to do blackface. And they're poking fun at it. And if you have half a fucking brain cell, you can tell that.
Well, and to pretend like it isn't a thing.
And it
isn't a thing that happened for years.
But its portrayal in Mad Men also is done in almost a satirical way because it's like, hey, look at how fucking heinous we were during this period of time.
Look at how bad.
Chris is loving this new set.
I'm kicking off my
That's
shoes.
Fantastic.
I wanted to put my feet up. I was like, I probably shouldn't put shoes on the
fantastic.
couch.
Somebody told me that if they did The Office today, they wouldn't do the Diversity Day episode from season 1. Why?
That's exactly why that episode
exists. The point of the
exists.
show is that Michael Scott is stupid
and so out of touch.
And so everybody in the show is offended by everything he does. It's context. How it makes me honestly start to think, like, How dare you make a piece of art that makes me think about anything, that makes me feel, makes me confused about stuff?
No one on the distant left, these people who call themselves progressive, they don't understand subtlety.
No.
They don't understand comedy. And I don't think they could be funny if they tried most of the time.
Well, what was
The stuff the stuff I would ban personally would be here. Okay, here we go. Here's some examples of for real offensive. Fred Astaire doing blackface in any of the movies he did. I think he did in one movie. That's offensive. I would say Rob Schneider in any of the roles where he plays a different race of a person, where he plays the Chinese guy in Chuck and Larry. He plays the Hawaiian guy in 50 First Dates. He always plays a different race. He's a white guy. He's a white Jewish guy who plays those roles.
No, he's Jewish, so it's okay.
Right. But you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
That is offensive. That's not that, and it's not satire. So
no, I'm not even sure what the point of his role in most
it's
Sandler movies are.
It is also bad comedy, but it's not satire. He's not poking fun at a stupid person playing that. So somebody asked me recently what I thought about Robert Downey Jr. playing the role in that role in Tropic Thunder. It's completely satirical. He's playing a character who's this blonde Australian actor who he thinks it's okay for him to play a guy who's doing blackface. There's one character in that movie who's the other actual black guy in the movie who's a rapper. He's a rapper in the movie, and he's playing opposite of Robert Downey Jr., who's literally mocking him and calling him a piece of shit basically through that whole movie.
Yeah.
The point of that character is to be us. He's the audience telling us that this is wrong.
Yeah. And well,
that's satire.
Didn't Jamie, like, I'm not just because he's black, but didn't Jamie Foxx also kind of like endorse Robert Downey Jr.'s
a lot of black people have, especially black comedians. Do you know why? They know what satire is.
Right.
It's offensive to me. Thank you, Sean. Absolutely. It's offensive to me that these people don't get it. And taking away these satirical parts in these movies and these TV shows is not going to help. In fact, I make the argument that it hurts.
It does.
Keep these in so that people watch comedy. They go in and watch a comedy. And maybe, let's say there's somebody out there that thought they might
they think the next time
who's complaining about these things the most?
Well, it's social justice warrior
white women.
It's white women. Right. The least funny demographic.
Yes. Well, so let's say
Amy Schumer,
let's say there's somebody.
My mother.
Let's say somebody young.
My wife.
Let's say somebody 13, 14 years old. Might consider wearing blackface as a costume, right? But then they watch a movie like Tropic Thunder. Okay? They watch Tropic Thunder. And then they see that character they see Robert Downey Jr.'s character being made fun of by the other character. There's a good chance that person watching the movie even subconsciously goes, "Oh, you shouldn't dress up in blackface."
Yeah.
Because it's not, you're going to get made fun of at the very least, but also you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it's meant to do. It's meant to make you think. That's what I just, it floors me. It absolutely floors me.
And the amount of influence that entertainment media has, even if people don't notice it consciously, like what you watch, what you consume really changes your behavior. Even if it doesn't change your on the surface beliefs, it changes how you work. I was listening to something today. NPR has this Hidden Brain podcast. Fantastic. I recommend it highly. Every single episode. It's awesome. But this one, they were talking about the genocide in Rwanda and how they, to combat it, because there was this thing called hate radio on, and these people were referring to the Tutsis as cockroaches. And that was the only way they referred to them on this radio program. It was just, we can exterminate the cockroaches. And, the U.S. was sending people in and France was sending people in just to get their nationals out of harm's way.
Yeah.
They weren't helping with preventing the genocide. They weren't doing anything on that front. And so this hate radio was like, none of the outsiders are going to mess with us. We can kill all the cockroaches we want to kill, yada, yada, yada. And so these people started this radio soap opera. And they didn't use it was the Tootsies and the what? What was the other one? Why can I never remember the other one?
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, they start this program, and it's about a village in the mountains that has 2 warring tribes in it, and they don't use the same names, but there's a Romeo and Juliet story in there. These 2 people fall in love, but they're from opposite tribes, and everybody's getting killed, and there's this dickhole of a guy that's her dad or something, and it got to the point where everybody's like, I don't want to be like that guy. That guy's a dick. And it went like 12 years or something. It might still be going. But anyway, he has a moment later on and like shifts his perception on what things are and has kind of like his character develops.
Yeah.
But after a year of watching this show, they are listening to this show. People said, none of my beliefs changed. None of my beliefs changed. I still believe that intertribal marriage is not right. I still believe that, we don't need to put up, but people their behavior wasn't demonstrating what they were saying. They didn't go after people who married intertribe. Like everything started to change just because of this radio program. And
well, you could see it with the gay movement through the 90s, and like slowly like I remember it wasn't like an accepted thing, and then eventually like now it's like and I'm not like, I've never had a problem with it.
Yeah.
Or as long as I can remember, but I remember but it's probably partially due in part to that, because it was just slowly.
Because there was always a gay character. Always.
Yeah.
They're overrepresented now. That a lot of minority is overrepresented now, and they're still like, we don't have any representation. Like, no, there is a gay character on every show, every show. Right.
Well, and it's like, does the fire crew that works at the fire station have to have one Hispanic, one white, one black, one Filipino?
And if you don't have the demographic for that, because we don't here,
right?
There's like 4 Pacific Islanders.
We have this culturally diverse
yeah.
Fire department, but then you go out into like the community, it's all white people.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see a show or a story based in this area, and then see them represent like all these races in there. But there's all these white people.
But just serving a white community.
Especially since there's your
sitcom idea.
Yeah. Especially since I used to make the joke here, but all of the like black people you'd see around here for the longest time were foreign exchange students from
like legitimate Africans.
Not
African Americans, but like
Africans.
Yeah,
from other countries
here to learn,
because they're here. Yeah, they're here they're here going to school.
Yeah,
and so I always found it interesting. It's like, okay, we need more diversity in this picture. Well, we don't have diversity.
No.
I think it'd be more realistic though. If you want, you could be realistic about it though, and say, hey, let's have some Native Americans in this picture.
Yeah,
because we have Native Americans.
We do.
Right.
We have a lot of. We're
several.
We're 15 minutes away from an entire tribe.
From a major.
Yeah. So that would make sense if you wanted to show some diversity. To me, you show. I would say Native American. I would say Hispanic. There's a lot of Hispanic people here.
There's quite a few now.
Yeah. We still don't have a ton of black people here though.
No.
But there are more. I will say there are more now than there were even 10 years ago even.
Yeah.
But especially like 20, 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And which, by the way, if you're watching the show, I hope you know that I literally welcome all of those races here. Please know that.
Yes.
I judge you entirely on the content of your character and not by the color of your skin.
I mean, it'd be great to get. I was friends with this guy in high school. His name's Nick. He's a cool dude.
Yeah,
really cool. He was actually from. Oh, I'm sorry. He's actually from.
At least he did it before he blew his nose on it.
Yeah, thank you for that. He was actually from. He was from California, which is really cool. But he used to make the joke in high school. He used to say, "I'm really cool here." I go, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Yeah." He's like, "If I was back at home," he's like, "I'd be the biggest loser in town, but because I'm black, I'm the coolest guy here." And he'd say that literally all the time. Thought that was fucking hilarious. He's like, "Man, these girls think I'm so fucking cool." He's like, "If I was at home, I'd be the biggest loser."
Good for him.
He played soccer and he didn't, he's from here. I mean, he's just an Idahoan,
Yeah.
But he plays soccer. He's a cool guy. I was just thought that was funny though. Like he was very, very self-aware.
Yeah.
Very self-aware of how he was, and
you got to take advantage of your differences more than how you're similar to people. Like if you've got, if you've got something, use it.
Yeah, to your advantage,
And
sure.
if you can be like, hey, I'm cool here just because.
Yeah.
Well, this is an interesting segue. USC will remove a John Wayne exhibit after actor's racist comments resurfaced.
Hasn't he been dead for like 30 years?
40. He died in 1979, the year I was born.
oh wow.
Wow.
And I was brought up on a lot of John Wayne movies. So I'm like,
Yeah, same here.
I've never had a problem with
I'm
John
more of a
Wayne.
Clint Eastwood guy, but
I've heard a few pieces, like a few things that have come up over time, but I've just kind of like casualty of the time period and the time frame. It's like they're holding him up against this 2020, like looking at him through a 2020 lens instead of looking at him through a 1969
1980
or
lens.
a 19. Yeah. Well, and some of the comments that he was making were like 1950s and shit like that. And so and even like his family and stuff, like this is the comments he made are being taken largely out of context. See if I can find.
Sometimes if you drop an N-bomb, there's no right context for that. But
while you're looking for that, can I read you this? Yeah. This it was real quick. This is off Reddit, and I follow r/libertarian, which if anybody ever watched this show, that's probably the party I most closely identify with. I just thought that was cool. I saved it for the show. r/libertarian, this is one of the things that was posted. There's no such thing as minority rights, gay rights, women rights, etc. There are only individual liberties / rights which are inherent to everyone. I liked that.
Yeah, human rights.
Yeah, I liked that though.
Yeah.
And we're fighting for all these different individual causes, but we should just be fighting for individuals in general.
Right.
You leave me alone and I will leave you alone. That's literally like the message though. I like that.
That's what it should be. That's where we're running up against it right now.
Yeah.
It's because we keep on like rehashing. Like, and I'm not. I hate to be the person that's like, oh, we'll leave the past in the past. Like, I don't want to be that guy either, because I mean, it's important to like remember our history and remember where we've been to move forward. But in order to move forward, we do have to make some conscious decisions to like actually, do it.
Do it like South Africa did. Everybody puts it all on the table and says, this is where we were. This is where we want to go. No punishment, no negative judgment, but this is what I said in the past. This is how I feel now. Let's move forward.
Yeah. So I don't know what year he said this. 1971 interview with Playboy resurfaced.
Oh, dear.
I believe in white supremacy until the blacks are educated to a point of responsibility. The actor said, I don't believe in giving authority and positions of leadership and judgment to irresponsible people. So the last part of it is just, he says irresponsible people. He didn't say irresponsible black people.
Right.
Right. So I kind of take it as like
he could have worded that better.
He sure could have.
But
yeah.
It sounds like what he was saying.
3 years after the civil rights movement, and there weren't a lot of black people in any in positions of power at the time.
Yeah.
And so
I wasn't feeling it. Can we try it again?
read it again.
Yeah, read it. But I want you this time. I want you to do it in John Wayne's voice.
I can't do it, John.
Come on,
Voice. Can you do
Pilgrim.
it?
He's like, I believe in white supremacy until the blacks are educated to a point of responsibility.
Right here.
Pilgrim. I don't.
Paint your
I
wagon.
don't believe in giving authority and positions of leadership and judgment to irresponsible people.
That
Pilgrim.
sentence, if they pulled that
The
quote
second
instead,
sentence is a good one.
it's one of the best things anybody's ever said.
Yeah.
I don't believe in giving positions of responsibility to
Irresponsible
people.
The first
Which
one's
is
not
I don't
pretty
good.
much
either.
all of Congress.
I don't either, Duke.
Yeah.
Let's clear out the house. Everybody vote for somebody who's not currently in there.
Oh man, I've been saying this for months. Anti-incumbent
man.
2020, baby. That's where I'm at. Anti-incumbent 2020, baby.
I've been saying that since I could vote.
I'm voting literally when I go to that booth, man. I'm voting for literally anyone who's not in office.
And if
Fuck 'em.
somebody's running unopposed, write me in.
I will do that.
That's what I'm going to do. That's what I've
Love
done
it.
every time. I've
Love
written
it.
myself in. If somebody's like, oh, I don't have a challenger. Fuck you don't.
You got a write-in challenge.
You've got a write-in challenger in all Hudds. No, I don't like the incumbents. Everybody.
Yeah.
The reason that we're in the problems we're in is because of the people who are in there now.
And have been for years.
And
in many
Biden,
cases.
why would you vote for Biden for president? He's been involved in government since the 70s, and he is part of the problem. But oh
Did
God!
you watch that sniff video?
Oh no, I've seen it.
Oh, really?
Similar ones a couple of times.
Yeah,
just,
there's one where it's like he's just sniffing.
just
all
like
these
his
girls.
greatest hits.
Yeah, it's just like a montage of him sniffing.
You know, when I was stationed in Hawaii, we used to joke about that when he was the vice president, like because we'd pull up stuff on YouTube and be like, "Look here, he's grabbing little girls," and there were pictures of him with like just ice cream cones stacked up, and he's eating one, and the other one's over here. He always just looked ridiculous. Every time he was photographed, he just looked ridiculous or predatory. One of the two. He was either ridiculous or predatory. And
See, and I don't think he means it. I think he's just.
oh, you don't think he fucks kids?
I don't know. I can't. Well, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure everybody
But-
in a position of power does. It's sickening. It's sickening.
Well, especially if they have any.
Welcome to the Oval Office.
Who is this?
Just so you know,
There's a little
Who is this
you
we're
have
talking
to fuck
about? Though?
kids now.
Biden.
Biden. So I think I agree actually with everybody in position of power, but also I think also anybody that's been in Hollywood. So actually, I think probably Trump's probably fucking diddled kids too.
I don't doubt it.
He's been on reality TV shows.
He was on Epstein's fucking plane. That's
Oh,
all I need to be
Yeah.
against somebody.
Yeah,
I'll vote for fucking Kanye West.
I can't believe no Epstein stuff has come out yet
Oh yeah.
with
Uh,
associated to Trump.
What's her name? What's her name is under fire now. Finally, they are
Ghislaine finally got taken.
they're
She's
fin-
got paper clothes and paper
she's in.
sheets.
She's in jail, and now they're working on putting her away.
I tell you what.
forever.
You want to fucking riot about something? When that bitch turns up dead, that's when you riot.
Oh well, so I was just literally just gonna say, God, you stole my thunder. That's okay. I love you still. I was literally wondering when she was gonna kill herself.
Oh yeah.
When I heard the news report yesterday, I think that they were working on putting her away forever. I wondered, when do we either A, get a tell-all, which fucking please, or does she kill herself?
And chances are she'll be on her knees, tied to a bedpost and leaned forward, and there'll be mysteriously she managed to break her neck for that position.
Yep.
And she'll probably have that same fucking guy doing the autopsy. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
The guy that did JFK, MLK, Malcolm X, Jeffrey Epstein, and George Floyd. Or
What are they gonna do when that guy dies?
I don't know. I don't know who's gonna do.
Are they gonna have an actual person go in there and be like, "Oh yeah, this guy was fucking murdered"? There's like somebody new who goes in and is like, "Oh, this is clearly," and then he's commits suicide.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh, this is clearly wrong, and then
I
just
put two in the back of my head.
and then yeah, then you should, I gotta kill myself. Bang bang from behind twice.
Got to move quick with that.
Well,
trigger
he-
finger.
he-
Get the second one off.
The adrenaline from the first bullet sent the second. It's like tenet. He pulled it through his head.
That reminds. Do you remember Dead Man on Campus?
Yes.
Yeah,
That
oh,
movie
yeah.
was so good. I
It's
just
funny.
had a
It's
dream.
It's hard to watch Zach Morris.
Yeah,
Bang,
bang,
bang.
bang.
Did you watch?
So you got that
Speaking
second
of
shot
Zach
off, huh?
Morris, did you see Heist with Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Robert De Niro and fucking Zach the Man Morris?
No.
Oh my god,
Mark Paul Gosselaar is a highly underrated actor.
He is.
he was so good.
Also-
he played a police detective.
Also, along the same lines, I also love the. I think they're probably from either College Humor or Funny or Not, but the Zach Morris's trash videos.
Oh, yeah.
Those are so good. I've watched almost every one of those.
They're all good too. Like, oh look, Zach did this
Oh,
because Zach's
wow.
a piece of shit.
I also love. I love on that. Have you ever seen any of those Zach Morris's trash videos?
All the time.
I also love how the narrator of the show also always says if there's a character that's on just a one-off character, she's like, and she never appeared on the episode again, probably because she fucking killed herself. And every single time, it gets me. It's a reoccurring joke, gets me every time.
Every time. I love that one.
Probably because she fucking killed herself. It's just the way he says it. It's just like, God damn it, that's so good.
Zach Morris is trash.
He is trash though.
He's
Mark Paul Gosselaar is a good actor though.
You ever
without
see him
question.
in?
So what was that movie?
Heist.
Heist.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Robert De
Okay.
Niro, Mark Paul Gosselaar. Oh, and Gina Carano. I
It's
love
it's
her.
That's a
good
great
movie.
cast.
Yeah, it's.
That's a great cast.
I don't know how I didn't know it was a thing that was happening.
I have never heard of it.
I think it was one of those direct-to-video ones.
Yeah, it's one of the best direct-to-video /
There's good direct-to-video content because, like, right now, a lot of the direct-to-video content is stuff that we like fed on in the 80s and 90s.
Mm.
I think, but there's a lot of shit mixed in there too. There's a lot of the Bruce Willis fucking.
It sells me on Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Flashpoint Batman too,
Also, although there's
because he's
there's also
wheels within
it's also
wheels.
a great time if you want to go to the movies too, because all the old movie theaters are showing old movies right now.
I know.
Back to the Future,
Ghostbusters was there a couple weeks ago.
Ghostbusters, yeah, so that's kind of cool. Speaking of direct-to-video or video on demand, did you watch Palm Springs yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
It's really good.
What's
I
it
want
on?
to.
It's on
It's on
Hulu.
Hulu.
Oh.
It's Andy Samberg.
Have you
and
seen
I
the
don't know-
trailer for it? I'll pull up the trailer.
It's Andy Samberg, and I don't know who the girl is. She's adorable. Though.
She's in that McAllister movie. She played Mosby's wife, the mother, in How I Met Your Mother.
Wasn't Trump in a McAllister movie?
She's
Oh,
in
too.
Oh,
the McAllister. The
yeah,
what's it called? The
Cat-
fucking show. Black
Yeah.
Mirror.
yeah.
The McAllister episode.
Yeah.
The Star Trek one.
Oh, God damn it! Yeah, she's adorable. She's a great actress too. Actually, the movie overall. So let me tell you guys, it's funny.
Kristen Milotti.
Yeah, yes, it's funny. It's kind of a feel-good movie. Like it ends on a really high note. It's exactly what you would hope would be an ending for it. But it's I actually the movie I liken it to is Chef.
Really?
Yeah, because like Chef is just kind of a feel-good movie.
I thought it was going to be a lot like a little. Well, not a lot, but I thought it had some Groundhog Day feel to it.
I mean, it does. It's just I just mean as far as like how it feels.
Oh yeah.
Like there's like in like romantic comedies where like they always like they have a falling out, they have to go win her back and blah blah blah.
Mm.
There's still kind of that feel there, but it's on a way different scale. And I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I would probably watch it again. And truthfully, if you count The Hunt for 2020, even though it's supposed to be out in 2019, if you count The Hunt, this is probably my second favorite movie I watched from 2020.
The Hunt is so good.
I do count The Hunt because it did come out of actually this year.
Yeah,
Sonic
but-
the Hedgehog was the best movie I saw this year.
Well, so did you watch The Hunt?
No.
Well, you need to watch The Hunt
I
because
haven't
Sonic's
seen that
going to
yet.
become the second favorite movie I like. And actually, in order for this year, I would say this movie, or I would say The Hunt, this movie, and then actually probably Sonic.
Yeah,
It's it's
Sonic's
really
good.
It was
Sonic's
solid
great.
start to finish.
I'm actually genuinely excited for a sequel.
Yeah.
See
All right.
little tails.
Alex was so
It's gonna
excited.
be a beautiful wedding.
Also, how was J.K. Simmons in this?
Hilarious.
Okay, he's one of my like.
Oh, yeah.
He's moving into Rushmore territory.
Well, hilarious, and he has a great chemistry with Andy Samberg too, because they were in I Love You Man together and as father and son. With Paul Rudd, he plays their dad.
Mm.
They have great chemistry together, and he's just a good character in this movie altogether. I don't know. I actually I have zero to nitpick from this movie. If I watched it 10 times, I'd probably pick stuff apart. But I actually don't. I'm not a huge romantic comedy guy.
Mm.
But I genuinely really liked everything from this movie.
Nice.
It was good.
Here you are, standing on the precipice of something so much bigger than anyone here. But always remember, you are not alone.
I don't think that we met. I'm Sarah.
Niles.
Hi.
Hi.
You will find me time after time.
Run, rabbit, run!
Niles?
Don't come in here! It's gonna be a beautiful wedding.
Good day so far? Today, tomorrow, it's all the same.
You! What is going on? Hey, get out of the water!
Guess you followed me. It's one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about.
That I might have heard about.
Yeah. The second you fall asleep, it all just goes back to the start.
I drove all the way back home to Austin, and I still woke up here.
One time I smoked a bunch of crystal and made it all the way to Equatorial Guinea. It was a huge waste of time.
Well, then what's the point of living?
We kind of have no choice but to live.
No, I'm gonna get out of this.
Suit yourself. See you tomorrow.
So now what do we do?
Oh, it's
You just
100
have
on
to
Rotten.
embrace the fact that nothing matters.
Do you
I'm not
sleep
the
with
only
people
one
in
that
here?
liked
Great
it.
question. I have, but it takes a lot of work. Yeah, I got in. It's the first dance. And that's a deal breaker?
That didn't work. Let's waste some time.
You want to dance? You know the officiant? He's got a bag of sweets in his pocket.
You're right. Got him.
I can't keep waking up in here. Everything that we are doing is meaningless.
I hope it's not all meaningless.
At least you have each other. Nothing worse than going through this shit alone.
Stop! There's a bomb in the cake. Don't worry. I used to be a bomb guy. Stand back!
It's gonna be a beautiful wedding.
It's good.
So much better than the day he was stuck in Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
sunny,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
as long as you don't fall asleep, you can keep going because he
Yeah.
made it to Equatorial Guinea.
Right. It's a fun movie, and I don't know, highly would recommend.
Yeah, Groundhog Day is an all-time favorite,
Yeah.
so I'm all right with that premise.
Same here.
Oh, I watched.
Oh,
Groundhog
look, you
Day.
can see my face for a second.
I need to rework this. This.
We didn't know how
overlay.
low he would be.
Yeah.
He knew I wouldn't have a mask
So
on.
one thing I know is happening before the next show is that monitor's moving, his mic's moving closer, and then this mic's moving closer so that I can sit back now.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
the
Well,
whole
what's the
sitting
fun? I
back.
And
wanna
I can
move
actually move that
Okay.
to right there.
There you go. That's what I want. That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I could do that now. Turn
Next-
me down.
Next time's gonna be even better.
Lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick.
No, Palm
I
Springs should be
think
good.
of you.
Yeah.
I just
Anytime that song is used, I'm happy.
I'm out of service for the next 5 days because my grandma doesn't have internet, So I just downloaded that. So and I've got a little I got a little thing that I can plug my phone in and into a TV and watch on the TV.
I think I'm gonna have to steal my mom's Hulu password.
You should.
Because I've got, God, I gave her my Disney Plus. So I think that's it. That's a fair trade.
Bundle that shit.
No, because I don't need ESPN, and I don't need to pay more than I'm already paying. Everybody's getting so much fucking money out of me for.
I was paying $15.99 for Hulu just by itself, and then I ended up like unbundling everything, and so now I pay $17, and I get no commercial Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN.
Nice.
But The Dance is coming to Netflix.
The Dance?
The Last Dance.
Oh. The
Michael Jordan.
The Michael Jordan fluff piece.
Is it good?
Turn me in.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go.
Here you go.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
You'll have to just find a way to extend me out a little bit here.
Well, we can run it.
That's
that
okay.
way.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
This is nice though. Oh yeah. I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
At the very, and if it wouldn't have worked that way, you could have found a way to latch onto this too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh hell yeah.
This is great. This actually just made it so much better.
Our show's gonna get better.
I'm just
Because
from
it
the
will be
layout
more
alone.
relaxed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cash.
Very excited. And plus, they can see this. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
They like each other.
They do. We do. We like each other. Actually, brother, can you beer me?
Absolutely.
Beer me, brother.
Is there another bowl in there?
Oh, you bet. We've been watching Workaholics. Actually, we've been alternating between Workaholics and The League because Bree had never seen. She had never finished Workaholics and she had never watched any of The League.
I've only seen the episode of The League that Sergey
was
in.
Yeah, I don't know. Rick always swore by The League. I never saw it.
It's really good. It's hilarious.
There's a lot of shit I haven't seen.
I think the fridge is a little cold.
I think Jason Matzoukas. He's in the show. Best character. His name is Rafi. Hilarious. All right. For you. Good. It's been a fun episode.
That's a great Insta
You
right
almost
there.
had it. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Not on purpose. It would have been better if I'd have had the camera already. Give me a tissue. I fucked it up.
Speaking of cameras, I have taken some of the best pictures I've ever taken in the last couple weeks.
Oh man, I love watching your picture. I love seeing your pictures.
I was messing with the settings on the camera, and I've got my programmed auto to the point where it always takes pictures the way I would if I wasn't lazy. And then I've got two user setting other programmed autos I can use. One of them I do for black and white, and I've got that black and white one dialed in. I really enjoy those shots that I've taken recently.
Black and white pictures, if they have like the right lighting and filter and everything, they're some of my favorite. But it's hard to land on like just the perfect.
Yeah, I think I've got it set up in the camera so they come out. I don't have to edit them almost at all.
Nice.
I generally now I just crop things because there's something that I want and I'm shooting with a non-zoom lens, so it requires too much movement on my part to get it.
What are you
exactly
using?
right.
Your phone or?
No, I've got a Nikon
Nice
D600.
Oh, nice, very nice.
Yeah,
Very good.
the last 4 years I was in the Army, I was a photojournalist.
Oh
And
wow!
so, and they trained us on Nikons. I'm not like a.
You were like Joker in Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
How
Hey Joker.
How do you do that? The women and children.
Easy. You just don't lead them as much.
how many years were you in the Army?
10.
10?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I did 6 as an interrogator and 4 as a photojournalist.
Wow.
It's an interesting
That's a
shift.
That's a cool resume.
And it really it was basically both of them just interviewing jobs. Like that was the main thing. One of them was just a whole lot more focused.
One of them had more water.
I like this overlay.
You speak the true. I pull that up every time Zach or Sean have a really good point.
I like that.
We should combine forces here. Well, you still you need yours for Thursdays especially, but feel free to insert any of your graphics on mine. Also, this is a good one too. Oh, I like that.
Is that Workaholics?
It is, yeah. Great show.
I've seen a couple of episodes of that.
Sounds like TJ Miller.
Early on, I remember it was on after something. Was it after SmackDown?
It's on Comedy Central.
What was it on after then?
I don't know. Do you watch South Park?
Back then, I probably did.
Yeah.
You know what I thought was not a bad movie was that Jexy.
I haven't seen it yet.
What's it on? Hulu as well?
Netflix?
I don't know where it popped
Oh,
up.
you got
We
that
might have
on
rented it. I think we might have rented it.
Yeah.
Did you watch The Wrong Missy yet? I'm gonna keep asking you.
I haven't yet. No, I'm going to. I need to
watch The Wrong Missy
I need
on
to.
Netflix.
I shouldn't say it on the air, but when I have a sick day, I'll watch it. What do you got pulled up here? What is this?
Oh, okay. Well, Bruno had posted this, and then Chris just shared it with me earlier today. But this is I'll read it. The shopping cart is the ultimate litmus test for whether a person is capable of self-governing. To return the shopping cart is an easy, convenient task and one which we all recognize as the correct, appropriate thing to do. To return the shopping cart is objectively right. There are no situations other than dire emergencies in which a person is not able to return their cart. Simultaneously, it is not illegal to abandon your shopping cart. Therefore, the shopping cart presents itself as an apex example of whether a person will do what is right without being forced to do it. No one will punish you for not returning the shopping cart. No one will fine you or kill you for not returning the shopping cart. You gain nothing by returning the shopping cart. You must return the shopping cart out of the goodness of your own heart. You must return the shopping cart because it is the right thing to do, because it is correct. A person who is unable to do this is no better than an animal. This was my favorite part. An absolute savage. It's like the person who wrote its opinion finally leaks through at the end.
You're a savage. You're a
is
fucking
no better
savage.
than an animal, an absolute savage who can only be made to do what is right by threatening them with a law and a force that stands behind it. The shopping cart is what determines whether a person is a good or bad member of society. So I come down on the right side of this argument. I always take my cart back to the...
I do too, but I do it for selfish reasons. I do it for peace of mind. I would be unsettled if I left it there and drove away. I just wouldn't feel right.
There's a sense of wanting some sort of completion to the task that you've gone out to do.
That might be part of it.
I think I get the cart, I get the groceries, I take the cart and I return. I put the cart at least in the cart return. There are rare occasions where I'll actually take it back to the store itself if the proximity is closer. Yeah. Where do you land on this? Are you a cart abandoner?
No, I put my cart away. I get really irritated when it takes 30 fucking seconds to put your cart away. Just put it away.
Well, when we were talking earlier,
and when you're
Rosar's has
a Fitbit
20
guy,
places.
that's extra steps for you.
There's 20 places to put them.
Oh yeah.
And Costco's a little more spread out, but it's still never that difficult. Most of the time I'll run it all the way back because it's easy.
So generally, this helps me actually. I wear a Fitbit. Generally, I parked pretty far away from the entrance of whatever store I'm going into because I don't want to fuck with people.
I also don't like getting door dings and shit. And so that helps.
You guys both sound like my grandma.
Park far away. Yeah.
We'd go to the mall and she would park almost at taco time.
Yeah, I park that way almost. It's like
so we'll
go out of our way to walk far.
I'll take my cart back. I'm never in that much of a rush. Well, first off, if I'm in a rush, I'm never in a situation where I need a cart. If I'm in a rush,
you need a few
that means
things.
I'm going in the store. It means I need a couple things. I've never gone into a Winco or a Rosar's or an Albertsons.
Yeah, if I'm using a shopping cart,
I'm in a rush and I have a whole list of fucking stuff and I have to get a shopping cart. Who the fuck where you think it's gonna be like that?
Get lost on an aisle.
That shopping spree. We're gonna fucking pull all the stuff into your cart. Like if I'm in a rush, it's a basket, and I'm walking out with bags. In fact,
And you know where you're going.
Yeah, it's so rare that I actually use a cart anywhere I'm at because if I'm by myself, I don't ever get one. So where I generally use a cart eventually is usually at Costco. At Costco, there's 1,000 cart returns.
Yeah.
Also, it's a planned outing.
Right.
Yeah, you never go to Costco without.
Right.
You're not in a rush there.
Right. You
It's not a
better
rush
not be
store.
in a
You
rush.
better not be in a rush when you go to Costco.
You know, there's people that are, but
because the lines are going to be
You don't wanna be that guy.
mile long.
you don't want to come out of there like that.
No.
You don't want to be rushed in there. I
No.
miss the samples more than anything.
Well,
my grandpa
When
as
they
well.
did them.
Yeah. My grandpa was insistent on going to Costco, and he's blind, so we have to take him. And he's just like, no, I just really want to go to Costco. I want to go to Costco. Finally, he ended up using Dial-A-Ride because I won't go back until they stop requiring masks.
Sure.
And he did Dial-A-Ride, and then Mom went and picked him up. And he was there for like 3.5 hours, and he was pissed because they didn't do samples. Like, Bub, it's COVID time.
Yeah.
You're 82. What are you just spending 3 hours in a fucking store for? Especially Costco, where you can get everything online and pick it up at the curb.
It's funny because a lot of the young people right now who are like, I don't understand why these old people are the ones that are like, let's let it burn through. And, because they're the ones that are going to die. And it's like, they know that, dude.
Yeah.
Old people, not all, a lot of old people want to die. Like they're 80. Like they're done. Like and I'm not saying they should want to be done, but I'm saying a lot of the 80-year-olds right now who are like, just let it burn through. Who gives a shit? Those are the ones that are like, if they were like, I'm not feeling good, and you're like, you have COVID-19, they're like, oh, thank Christ.
Yeah.
God, I've been immunocompromised for 60 years.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Fuck. I have to keep waking up every morning.
Yeah, they're the ones that wake up every morning and they're like, oh, fuck. I'm waking up today.
You're doing an impression of me.
Yeah.
That's how I sound when I get up in the
I'm
morning.
just saying, those are the old people that are like, let's let it burn through. But don't you know it'll affect you? You're the ones that will die. I absolutely know that.
Death is only bad for the people that are left behind.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got some weird thoughts about death because I made peace with mine in like October of 2007.
Yeah.
And since then, it's just been like, if I go, I go.
Yeah.
I've had a good run. I've got 2 great kids.
I made peace with mine in October of 2019, actually.
What happened in October?
My mom.
Your
Oh.
mom.
So ever since she's passed away, I'm like, well,
I
there's worse things.
I have a
Is it
desire
weird that
to
it was
survive.
October for both of us?
It is weird.
I have a desire to survive, but again, when my mom passed away, it was like, well, I mean, this is what happens.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I'm not,
now it becomes this game of like predicting how and when.
I'm not saying that I want to get like, I don't want to suffer. I don't want to get like diabetes and have both my legs cut off and then have a miserable life for 20 years and then die.
Mhm.
I'm saying,
No?
though, if I saw like a meteor, though, if they're like, another news, a meteor is going to hit the earth. I don't know why they're
Well,
old
we're in this together, but
Like, I don't know why. In other news, they're going to have a meteor hit the earth in a couple weeks. You have a couple weeks to live.
well,
I'm
this,
gonna be
all
like,
these
well,
movements will take
time
us
for
back to
cocaine.
old-timey radio voice.
That's what time it is.
Yeah, it's true.
It's Coke o'clock.
Unless
I just
that guy Me Too'd somebody.
I just hope that in the last minute,
I'm sure.
I at least found a good place to watch it.
Yeah.
Do you
know,
think the
before-
old-timey radio guy Me Too'd somebody?
I think he
Oh,
Me Too'd a bunch of
yeah.
people. We're not allowed to talk about
Oh,
that. 'cause
Let's
we're
start
mad.
it. Yeah.
The old timey radio guy.
He was like, I always show my appreciation for the lady workers around me with a firm, open palm pat in the behind. That's how she knew she was doing a good job. Huh, everybody? All right, why don't you come over here and let me put my cigarette out in your tit.
What are you doing? That's her performance review. She knows she's doing good.
It's time for your performance evaluation. Let me drink some more scotch and put my cigarette out in your tit.
We were going through shit here this weekend, cleaning out the shop, and my wife was going through like old photos, trying to find pictures of my grandpa and stuff. And I think she found like 3 different photos from when we started dating of just her ass that I was like behind the camera. Yeah, she's like, "Oh, this is nice.
This is nice. Thank you, Ward."
I love that because of the time period. I love it. Those were developed photos. So whoever developed them was just like, God damn it.
Robin Williams is back there.
They were, yeah. They were
Williams and 24-hour
1 hour photo.
1 hour photo, yeah. It's fucking, okay.
Boy, that was a show.
It's a good movie, though,
Yeah.
actually.
He went creepy, and it was great.
I mean, I know everybody was devastated when he died, but he was a very underrated actor, actually. I think he was very underrated. He was a great comedian, too. Well, I actually am not huge on his comedy. I'm actually more the one that leans on the Family Guy end of him just being like, oh.
It's funny because I said it in this voice.
Oh, Bill Clinton. I do not have sexual relations with that woman.
He was a great impressionist.
He was, and I'm not saying I disliked his comedy. I'm just saying that is a lot what it was. Though it was like, topical comment.
Yeah.
I heard he was a joke stealer too.
Oh,
like
lifter. Yeah, but I think in a lot of those cases he kind of got permission from the people he got them from.
Maybe
in certain instances.
But you hear that about several
there's
people.
So many joke thieves out there.
Chris Rock,
and then there's the parallel thinking too.
Yeah.
Well, I almost wonder too if there's like, depending on the person, depending on the comedian, I feel like if you're like a low level comedian, you hear Robin Williams lift one of your jokes, you're like, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That was
Robin Williams.
That was mine, but Robin Williams said it.
Also, I like him. So like, I feel like, actually, this theory kind of makes sense because Dane Cook lifted jokes. And then people were like, "Fuck you, Dane Cook." But you know why? Because he's a piece of shit.
He's
so
unlikable.
people were like, "Fuck him, he sucks." But when like Robin Williams lifts your jokes, you're like, "Did you hear that thing he did in Late Night? Robin Williams did my joke. That's awesome."
Yeah,
because he's so likable.
I wrote a thing that was good enough for Robin Williams to take.
No shit.
That's how I would have been. If someone right now took one of nobody would, by the way, my jokes are garbage. If somebody took one of my jokes, though, who is somebody I really liked. By the way, Ward, I don't know how.
I got a great joke. Remind me before.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
I don't know how we've survived the last 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks without you texting me or the group one time about the abortion, the Amy Schumer fucking pregnancy thing on HBO Max.
Because I've made a conscious effort to avoid it at all costs.
Have literally
at all costs.
So I know you have. If
I have an
anybody's ever listened to the show,
hatred.
You have a hatred for Amy Schumer. I don't like her either, but you're the one that clearly hates her more than between all of us. I don't know how. I've literally been waiting, looking at our chat group and at my personal message with you for something.
I want a 300 Amy Schumer basically every day.
I've watched so many things on HBO Max recently, and when you pull it up, she's the first fucking picture with her belly showing, and that fucking documentary she's doing, that like the series she's doing, and I haven't seen a thing from you. I'm not kidding. There was a few nights ago where I looked at Brie and I go, I wonder if Ward isn't doing HBO Max or
I'm cutting.
You have HBO Max though, right?
No, I do have HBO Max.
I've seen. Yeah,
no, it's painful. Yeah,
it was weird for you to just jump in there with the self-harm thing, though. Are you okay?
Were you just waiting?
That's.
I'm cutting.
Were you just waiting for somebody else to say something, or like what?
No, it's
so. What is she? Somebody knocked her up, so she's doing a
she
documentary.
She got pregnant. She did this documentary.
She's
blah,
got
blah,
like
blah.
some boyfriend with autism.
Right. Okay. So she does this whole thing. Yeah. She has a boyfriend with autism. She has a baby. Blah blah blah. Whatever. She's doing this documentary series. The picture on HBO Max When you log into it, you can't not see it.
Mhm.
They fucking feature her at the first picture every single time. It's her with a shirt lifted above her stomach, and she's all like disheveled, like fucking good for you, Amy Schumer. And it's seriously just the side. And by the way, I'm the person for those of you who's watching the show. I know I'm a big fat guy. I know I might look like your typical fucking incel guy. First off, I'm not an incel. I've very much have had sex. I am a married man, so I'm not an incel.
You've only
Getting
recently
very
become-
defensive
you got-
about it.
You got married, and that's when it
What
stops.
I'm saying is I very much have had sexual relations.
She's
Other
from
than-
Russia.
Other than my Russian bride, I've had sex with other Filipino, Japanese, other ones that you could bring over from across the seas. What I'm saying is I know that I look like your stereotypical incel, except for that I have a full beard, not just a neck beard, and I have showered today. What I am saying though, there are female comedians that I do like, very very much like. I like Chelsea Peretti. I like a lot of them that Ward hates. I like them. I actually do like them. I think like Madigan.
Kathleen Madigan.
Kathleen Madigan's so good. Right?
I like that. I like Kathleen
Right,
Madigan.
okay.
She's like one of my.
But what I'm saying is I don't like Amy Schumer either, but I've never had like this outspoken hatred to Amy Schumer. What I am saying today though is that the picture of her from this series that she's on does actually make me physically angry. I see it and I'm like, let's cancel HBO Max. I don't want to see it anymore. Why don't?
Because she decided at some point that like I'm just gonna be this fucking bitch that lets myself go, and I'm gonna embrace it. And because everybody is so eager to embrace anybody's decision to be fucking unhealthy or whatever,
right?
They're like everybody's like, who's fucking Bruce Jenner, yeah. As soon as he had the sex change, it's Caitlyn Jenner. As soon as that happened, like before it happened or when it happened, there was a handful of people that like spoke out against it. Like, but then all the people like are just like, oh, you're so brave and so proud of you. And so like as soon as anybody's doing anything that's like, oh, I'm Amy Schumer, I'm getting fat because I'm lazy and don't try. Which is fine, but don't make that your fucking brand.
Right. So
that's where my
question for these streaming. Can I get one more?
Yeah.
You get 6 more.
Yeah, there's a lot more in here.
Then give me 2 more. My question for these streaming services, though, Facebook is not perfect. In fact, the people who watch the show or listen to the show know that I fucking hate Facebook too. One thing I do like about Facebook though is that
Mark Zuckerberg.
even if my friend posts something on there that I don't like my bestest of friends, I don't have to unfriend him anymore. I can unfollow you.
Yeah,
Chris, if you put something on there that I'm not a big fan of, I can just unfollow you so I don't see your posts. So it's not a big deal.
But we're still friends.
Yeah, we're still friends.
Yeah. I've unfollowed most of my family.
Why though? Why? If you're gonna charge us these amounts to stream all these things, YouTube, you see an ad pop up and you're like, I don't like this ad. I don't want to see this ad anymore. I block all those ads that are about like self-grooming, all those men stuff. Like, oh man, did you nick your balls while you're shaving it? Every single one of those, I'm like, fuck you. No, I hate those.
This is offensive.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it. Delete. And I unfollow every single one of those. Why is it that on HBO Max that pops up? I should have a choice to go, not interested. Fuck off.
I don't want this.
I wish that was the thing.
Oh,
they jam it down your throat.
On every streaming service, I should be able to select an actor or an actress and go unfollow.
Or give it the thumbs down.
No.
The thumbs down.
Do not. Here, do you want me to help your
less like this?
Yeah. You want me to help your algorithm? Anything with this person in it, fuck off with it. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I agree. And
let me have that option just to go, no.
Netflix has gotten pretty good
Rebel
at knowing
Wilson,
what I want to
no.
see. Because I've thumbs up and thumbs down enough things that it's it's not giving me.
But HBO Max is like, you got to watch this. I'm like, no. You have other. HBO Max has been proving to be great for us. There's a lot of stuff on there I really like. It's a great streaming service.
I heard another rumor just today that they are going to do a 6-part miniseries for Justice League. The Snyder Cut is, and this was Matt Pat over on Film Theory talking about it.
By the way, I love Film Theory.
It's a fantastic channel. It's one of those ones Alex and I can watch like episodes.
If you ever
back
get a
to back.
chance, Film Theory and Game Theory.
Yeah,
fantastic shows.
Yeah, Game Theory gets a little too. He's way too into Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah,
and like Undertale. Like he really likes those little shitty graphic indie
but
games.
He's also done a really good job with like he did a really good in-depth one of like the timeline of Mario, the timeline of all the Zelda games.
Yeah.
Like it's like, man, these are good. Fantastic channel.
He's got some great stuff.
I'd be surprised if Wyatt hasn't watched some of that stuff
I'm
already.
sure he probably has. Yeah.
But you know, they've got another guy on the channel who does like the math calculations, and they were talking about the moon and Majora's Mask hitting, and like the amount of force that would be, and this would crack the planet in half. Really? Okay.
That's pretty
and
cool.
here's the math behind that. I don't generally like that guy, but I like the episodes that he does. Because it's all stuff that I like to see. Like, oh, that's how you figure out how this works.
So, but he says he thinks there'll be a six-parter.
Yeah. And I haven't been keeping up on it, and I'll get it HBO Max as soon as it's done.
I'll watch whatever they do. I genuinely do hope it is a 6-parter.
I do too.
Oh, also, Perry Mason. Good.
I'm on episode 2.
Good.
There's so much stuff
Has
on
there been a third
HBO
one
that
now?
shows up on
there's
Amazon
4 now.
Prime, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Prime's been great.
Yeah.
By the way, Perry Mason on HBO Max is fantastic.
Is
it's
it?
really good. Yeah.
I want to watch Matlock.
I'm kind of wondering. So Paul Drake's been introduced now, which is great. It's kind of cool because it's like prior. So did you watch Perry Mason, like the TV show?
No, it was. You probably watched it with like your grandparents.
All right, well, I watched it with actually. So on MeTV and the USA Network, actually in Fox for a while, they would do it. So I used to work.
I'd seen stuff here and there, but I was always like, "This is black and white." Nah.
I would watch. I used to work a swing shift where during the afternoons on Fox it would be Perry Mason, Matlock, and then Law and Order, and then pretty much Law and Order for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch those though in series. So I've actually seen a lot of Perry Masons. I actually really like the theme music. I think it's great. Also, in case you didn't know, the guy that plays Perry Mason,
Raymond Burr.
Raymond
Burr, was a confirmed bachelor for that time.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
He means homosexual for those of you
I
who
do.
don't know the
Yep.
1950s parlance.
But because he was a confirmed bachelor, though, that was a real thing, which is cool. He also died from cancer, so all those cigarettes they're smoking on that show.
Yeah.
Him and the guy who played Paul Drake, both of those guys, I believe, both died from cancer.
Wow.
Did you ever see Delirious with John Candy?
Oh, yeah.
Raymond Burr is in that, and he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He plays like the patriarch of this shitty family of soap opera people.
Perry Mason's a great show originally. So on the show Perry Mason, he's a lawyer. And then Paul Drake is his investigator. It's his private investigator.
Yeah.
On the Perry Mason new reboot in HBO Max, Perry Mason is a private investigator and Paul Drake is a cop. I'm wondering if they give it a few seasons. I'm wondering if this is like
Like a Better Call Saul type, like
I wonder if this is like a prequel. A prequel where he eventually, if I could see it being like 2 or 3 seasons of him being the private investigator, but in like maybe the last 2 or 3 seasons, if not even just the final season, him becoming, and their lawyer is also John Lithgow, who is fucking amazing.
He's good in everything.
I actually watched Bombshell recently, where John Lithgow is playing Robert Ailes.
yeah.
I don't care who John Lithgow plays. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good.
He elevates the movie Cliffhanger.
He's so. Oh yeah.
Like Like Cliffhanger. Oh, man, have you watched it recently?
No, I haven't seen it probably since the 90s.
I turned it on the other night for bed. I fell asleep before I got older. But I mean, fuck, Michael Rooker.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Mary
great.
Poppins, y'all.
And it's before Michael Rooker kind of like, he didn't go crazy, but he's kind of like
He's found his niche.
a little bit like, yeah, he's like one level above the Michael Rooker from that era.
Yeah.
So he's a little bit different, but it was funny watching, like it was great watching that. And then it's like that scene where he like drops her.
Mm-hmm.
That was like still hard to watch because it's like he's got her life in his hands and like it's like done. But then John Lithgow like just chews it up.
Oh yeah, he's so good. So he's really good in Bombshell. So in Perry Mason, he plays like their lawyer. So Perry Mason works for this lawyer as like the investigator, and then Paul Drake is a cop. Still. So I can see it going in a direction where eventually Perry Mason becomes a lawyer, and then Paul Drake becomes his investigator. But it's really good though.
Yeah, I've enjoyed what I've seen so far.
Perry Mason,
it's really well done.
Perry Mason, traditionally the show was like a procedural though, so every episode was a new case.
Mm-hmm.
The show it's one case, it's one thing,
Which I love.
I do too.
I'm tired of procedurals.
See, I'm almost at a point where we could go back. We could go back to procedurals. I'd be
The
okay
pendulum
with it.
can swing back, and
Yeah, I'm almost to a point where I could see. So I
guess for me, procedurals are too much of a part of my life still because
Yeah.
I still like Nicole will watch like NCIS or The Blacklist, and it's like
I just feel like some procedurals are still so good. I think for those.
Well, back
who've
to Mark
watched-
Paul Gosselaar, Franklin
Yeah,
and Bash was
right.
good.
I
And
mean,
it was
and
had a procedural.
And
element
my
to it.
all-time favorite show, other than The Office, is Law and Order. I love all Law and Order so much, even though I think they're cheese and they're a blueprint episode of each one.
Mm-hmm.
I love those shows. I almost think you could go back. In fact, I like the idea of, and I have yet to really see this. I know some shows have attempted it. I like the idea of a procedural that has each episode is one full arc, but then having an overall arc for a season.
kind of an amalgam of the old way and the way things are now.
Yeah.
Like,
And there's been a few shows I've seen that try it. I feel like Dexter every season tries to do like a procedural, like every episode it's kind of its own thing, but then towards the end of the season is like, oh, now we're just in the storyline.
It's
like,
it's procedural with a regular
Yeah.
arc through it, like a constant arc throughout the.
or like
Hannibal season one tries being a procedural for the first few episodes, and then all of a sudden it just goes to the storyline and you're like, oh, okay. I mean, it's good, but it's still like, man, I would have loved to have seen other stuff. Let's see you working with Hannibal on these other cases though.
Yeah.
Not just him fucking murdering people and then you trying to figure him out. Like,
trying to figure out who the Chesapeake Bay
I know,
Ripper is.
I know who that is. I
Mhm.
know who. But let's see you catch some other dudes too.
Well, because that makes it
That'd be
the
interesting.
fun part, yeah.
By the way, I did read online that Brian Fuller is still optimistic about a Hannibal season 4, which is kind of cool.
Oh, nice.
What a guy he is. The stuff he's worked on is just amazing.
And he's just from across the river.
Yeah. It's wild. I remember looking him up when I was watching Hannibal.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Really?
He graduated with my uncle at Lewiston High School.
It's wild.
So I do those beer with Edwardo videos. I haven't done one in a while.
Yeah.
But one of the recurring themes is I talk to past Edwardo.
Oh, okay. Did you
And
do
past-
something like that for this?
What's that?
Did you do something like that for this?
For this show?
Yeah.
No, but we were talking about those old shows, and so it's
Yeah.
like, so past Eduardo's always watching like Highway to Heaven,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Matlock, MacGyver.
Yeah.
And so always like the end credits roll with a theme song, but it's not a it's like a karaoke style theme song. So here's the Matlock one.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I did that for 58 seconds.
My favorite thing about the original. My favorite thing about the Matlock theme song. Like,
Go on.
I want to see if you do it. I'm waiting until the end to see if you do it. Okay, so the original Matlock theme song, though.
Okay.
So you've watched that show a bit, then, obviously.
I did watch Matlock when I was
So, my favorite thing about the Matlock theme song is it would sound pretty serious, but at the very end of that song, they have a fucking, I swear to God, it's a slide whistle. It's like, boop, 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 like just the stupidest sound, and you're like, God damn it, Andy Griffith.
Did he just slip on a banana peel?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
That little bit at the very end, it's just like, woo! It's like, fuck you, man. You ruined this show.
Here's Night Court. This one has. I had to do like 3 different.
Like, to put over each other.
I love Night Court.
So do I. That's awesome. Remember, I told you I wrote lyrics for. Remember, I told you I wrote lyrics for Law and Order.
Yeah.
SVU.
Yeah.
I recently found out that my wife, who used to be annoyed by my lyrics for SVU, I recently found out that when she watches it,
She sings it
she
under her
sings
breath.
it now. Because it came on the TV, and she was sitting in the living room, and she's like, "Gonna solve that crime."
Well, this spawned from
yeah.
our talk on the show when we were talking about MacGyver.
Gonna solve that rape crime. Pew, 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 pew. Fucking, I love SVU. It's honestly one of my favorite shows ever made. It's so bad. I know it's bad, but I love it. And the newer seasons without like Chris Maloney on there, they're not great. He's once he left the show, it's pretty much where I'm like, I'm good. I think he's hilarious though. Like in Happy.
Dick Wolf, the guy that made those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dick Wolf.
Dick Wolf. That I don't know. I feel like that
Wolf
might have
cock.
been a porn name of mine at some point. Like if I ever go into porn, I'll be Dick Wolf.
Yeah, they're so good. I mean, I love SVU. I do actually like the original Law and Order as well. And actually, I really like Criminal Intent too with Vincent D'Onofrio, and for one season, I think they had
D'Onofrio's great.
Yeah, for one season they had Jeff Goldblum as well.
Did he play himself for the most part?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some dudes like they find that groove and they just get in it, and they'll whatever character they're going to be is just going to be them with a funny costume.
I think he only did one season of the show, but I actually really liked it. He's actually on this detective show that was really good. That was very short-lived. It was called Rain. It was just Rains.
Oh, that was actually good. Yeah,
it was a great show.
Yeah,
he in the show he sees basically an apparition of whoever he's trying to help, whoever was murdered. He sees like an apparition of them in his head, and he tries talking to them through the murder. So I think one of the episodes on there, one of the people that were killed was a woman. Who's a Spanish woman. He's like talking to her, and then he finds out that she doesn't know any English, and he tries asking her a question, and then she's like, "Okay." I think in the episode, he goes, "Oh, come on!" Like,
no.
So as soon as he knows, no. Consuela, one of my favorite things,
one of the best characters on television.
So when he finds out that she can't speak English, though. He realizes that. Oh, that's great. Oh, did they have a theme song? Well, do they have my same lyrics? Because I've been doing that since I was like 14 years old. Gonna solve that crime.
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope they didn't steal my. I hate it when I have a joke before something else has a joke.
It's a parallel thinking.
Oh,
thing.
you got it from a show, and I'm like, no, I've been doing this forever.
I've been doing this since the 90s. Give me a break.
I seriously, when the show would come on, I was like 18 years old. It would come on, and my sister and my mom would be watching it. I'd walk in the house and see them watching it and be like, gonna solve that crime. Gonna solve that rape crime. And my mom would be like, stop it. Pew, 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 pew.
Are you going to look it up?
But if anybody does it, McFarlane.
I know.
Seth was under your bed when you did it.
Not the same lyrics, he says. That's good.
Yeah. So there's that.
So that's the other thing. So on Jake, on another episode, we talked about this, but I write lyrics to a lot of songs, though. A lot of TV show songs I will write lyrics to. Which, by the way, one of the shows that I think is fantastic that still does this is Psych. Has been off the show for years.
There's a movie.
I know, and I was just going to say, well, they've done a couple of movies.
Yeah, the new one is going to featuring the guy that played Lassie.
Is going to be back. Yeah,
he had a massive, real life stroke.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
because was he in the last one?
No, they wrote him mostly out of it. He did a cameo, like a phone call cameo, like a video.
I think the new one is literally called Lassie Come Home.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I actually like that format though. Like, let's end a show, but then let's do like these specials. Psych works for it. You know what kind of reminds me of is the Rockford Files.
Oh yeah,
like the Rockford Files. Which, by the way, the Rockford Files is one of the best. The Rockford Files is one of the best procedurals ever created. It's so good.
Yeah.
But then after a while, remember they brought it back for a little bit as a newer series, like in the 90s, and Robert and James Garner was older.
Mm-hmm.
But then they started doing like the movies, and I like that Psych does that though. Like, well, we have this show, let's do this show, and then every few years they're like, let's do another movie. That's awesome.
Yeah. I never watched Psych much. I think I caught an episode here or there.
Psych might be I'll say it. Psych is the best USA original show that they've ever done.
Other than Monk.
Burn Notice.
Other than Monk.
Burn Notice is good too.
Yeah, Burn Notice has some trash moments though.
It does.
Yeah.
Psych really doesn't have that many trash moments. It's pretty good all the way from beginning to end. And it's funny pretty much from its conception to the finish. The movies are still good.
There you go.
Okay, you ready? Oh shit! Yeah. Here it comes. Okay, I'm ready. Let's all go to court.
That's pretty good.
Let's go make some law now. Yeah. Some law now. I say we go to court. Yes, let's go to court. We're a bunch of assholes who take up a whole hallway with our conversation.
That's pretty good.
We're a bunch of assholes who take up a hallway.
I like that. I like that McFarlane did.
Don't know me and Johnny are watching you while we're high.
That was fucking.
That felt smooth. That felt really smooth.
So in the pocket.
Did he get uncanceled?
Who? Marky Mark?
Marky Mark, yeah.
Did he
They keep
canceled?
they keep on trying to bring up the stuff where he beat up this Asian guy when he was like,
Was he like 16?
so
it was
young.
a long fucking time ago.
Yeah.
And he's become like one of America's most beloved.
He's like an icon.
Yeah, I'm fine with him still. I don't care.
I sent you the.
Yeah.
I looked it up.
See the video's logo right here? Well,
It's
instead of
called
that, you just drop in your own logo.
Did you guys
It used
like
to
that
be
he
that-
did? Did you guys like that he did just?
Oh, it's
basically-
this one.
Yeah.
Did you like that he basically did like just Peter Griffin as a voice for Ted?
Yeah.
I do too. I think it was like,
Why not?
Yeah. Let's play on the popularity of the show. I still watch the show. I mean, it's usually the show that we watch is kind of a like background noise show. Like if you want to play like Animal Crossing or something, we just put it on as like noise.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff that makes me look up and go like, ha.
I really like the cutaway gags.
Yeah.
As much as people give it shit because the show there was a while there where like every episode was 90%.
One of my favorite ones was the Jetsons one where he like reaches down to Jane as she like steals his wallet and yanks her back up and the Jetsons. It's like, hey, no, what the?
Who do you think you are?
Well, I also like one of the episodes I watched last night might have been like season 10. Because we watch it every night when we're going to bed, actually. We'll watch either that or American Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually, I do like American Dad more. But I like Family Guy still. And one of the bits I thought was really funny is they go back in the past. Stewie and Brian go back to the past. And it shows, it's from episode 1 from like 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows them like when they do the cutaways. And like, oh, that's like the time that blah, 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 blah. You know, and then it just shows them to stand. Like just sitting there during the cutaway. And Brian's like, I know we're not supposed to like alter the past, but should we like call a hospital? Like they're just sitting there doing the cutaways, like, and then it's like he's like, oh, these are the cutaways. These are the goddamn cutaways. Like he's like, well, at least we fixed that now. We like play on our phones and shit. Then it shows up from the newer season. They do a cutaway and like Peter like starts smoking a cigarette and like the Lois is like, do you think you really have time for the whole cigarette? He's like, oh, it's like a Al Jolson song. Like, we got like 5 minutes. I was like, that's pretty funny. Like, the tease itself, that's funny.
I loved all of the Road to episodes.
Oh, I think those are great. Yeah.
Like, Rhode Island, I think, was the first one.
Yeah.
We're on the road to Rhode Island.
I also like that Seth MacFarlane is such a fan of, like, the musical and also, by the way, through everything that's happened in the last 3 years of the Me Too shit and all that stuff, Seth MacFarlane hasn't been accused
not a single person
of anything. He might be the only hero to take, man.
Yeah,
but he was like the first to call anybody out for shit too. Like he threw Harvey under the bus before Harvey got.
When You Wish Upon a Weinstein episode.
Also, by the way, he was.
He did it at the fucking Oscars too. I think
he did. Also, god damn it, this beer. Why does it hate me so much?
You have a problem.
What am I doing?
I think the fridge is too cold.
Do you see Airplane is on Netflix? I watched it the other night. I love that movie.
That is an amazing movie. The second one's good too.
Oh man!
But you said you have a problem. I was like, oh, he's got that drinking problem. That's probably the best running gag in the whole thing.
Oh man, germophobe, lay me to the bone. You know what I say about those brown-eyed booty yackers? Gotta lay her down and slack 'em, yuck 'em. Cool, got to beat a man. Shit.
Oh, that wouldn't.
Are you
that
impressed?
movie wouldn't work today.
Are you impressed that
I am impressed that you got the jive down. It's not as impressive as the Leave It to Beaver mom showing up and doing it. Isn't that who that was? Wasn't that June Cleaver?
Yeah.
God damn.
You know what they say about those brown-eyed booty yackers? Gotta lay her down and slack 'em, yak 'em. Go, gotta beat a man. Shit. Oh man.
We need to get this girl to a hospital. What for? What's that? What's that for? It's a big building where they keep patients.
Surely can't be serious. I am serious. Don't call me sure. I also like that when he's when he's sick. Like, sir, you okay? Oh man, germophobe, lay me to the bone. Or he's like, oh man, germophobe, lay me to the bone.
Yeah, the Orville's great. Have you watched the Orville?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Is that another fucking Hulu one?
No, that's it was on Fox. That was Seth MacFarlane's attempt.
It was. It's coming to Hulu though.
It is though. It is. So what it was,
which is appropriate because wasn't Seth MacFarlane one of the initial like Hulu guys?
So Seth MacFarlane, what he wanted to do. This is actually what happened.
He wanted to do Star Trek.
He wanted to do Star Trek. He wanted to do a Star Trek show, and they created a Star Trek. The people who own those rights said no. Fuck you. And so he's like, oh, okay. So he went and he's like, I'll do my own Star Trek.
I'll do
And then
my
he
own
did.
space show.
And it's actually fucking better. It's actually better. It's
Better, yes.
It's way better. It's really good.
I'll do it with blackjack and hookers, or something.
Norm Macdonald's in it.
Is he really?
Yeah, he plays
God, that guy.
he plays slime, or like a viscous.
Something.
Yeah,
It's a good show.
I'll have to keep an eye out for it.
well, I know their production got halted a little bit because
Sure.
of COVID, but I think they were
Who's
supposed to
didn't?
come to Hulu in 2021.
Yeah. It is a really great show though. And actually I also liked what was it, 1,000 Ways to Die in the West or 100 Ways that whatever
Yeah.
it was. I thought it was hilarious. I think it's funny.
Yeah, stellar cast too.
Yeah.
The whole way through. I just
Charlize
loved it.
Theron. I actually really liked Seth MacFarlane and Charlize Theron's chemistry. I thought
Yeah.
they worked really well.
She's got a new movie on Netflix.
She does. I haven't watched it yet
And
because I
you
didn't
know,
want to
so
fall
Liam
asleep.
Neeson, he's in that movie. He's the bad guy, and he does an Irish accent in it.
Mhm.
And
He talks like himself finally.
he does. So what's funny about that is that they did a joke on Family Guy years ago about it was a cutaway about Liam Neeson being in a Western,
Mhm.
and he's trying. It's obviously like a guy doing an American voice, but like trying to be like doing a bad American voice basically. So they asked Liam Neeson to be in the show, and he said, "Yeah, I'll be in the movie, but I'm going to do an Irish accent." So it's kind of a rib on Family Guy.
Did
which
you
is
see
cool.
Cowboys versus Aliens?
That is an amazing.
That
movie.
Isn't
very
that good?
that is very interesting that you brought that up because I had never seen that movie, and a couple weeks ago it's on HBO Max, and a couple weeks ago, it was on there, and I was like, I've never seen this movie. Let's watch it. And Bree had seen it, and she likes it.
Mhm.
We watched the movie. It is fantastic.
It is.
It's so good.
It's
I'll tell you-
one of the best movies
The first time
of
I saw it
decade.
was the first time I'd ever seen Daniel Craig do an American accent.
Yep.
And I could not, I couldn't function.
Yeah.
Because I'd seen Layer Cake, I'd seen a couple of Bond movies that he'd done, and I was just like,
Had
who
you not
is-
seen him in Road to Perdition?
no.
He
No,
was-
I just realized he was in that.
He was a highly unlikable character in Road to Perdition, and you couldn't peg him for like a leading man type character in that movie.
Yeah.
He does not look like leading man
Yeah, I
material.
watched that the other day, actually.
He is a fantastic actor.
He's
though.
something else.
He is single-handedly the best part about Logan Lucky. He's so
That
funny
movie
in that
is
movie.
good.
It's a really good movie. And I'm not a heist guy.
Yeah.
If it's a movie about a heist, fucking Ocean's 11,
Now,
all those movies,
this Jeffrey Dean Morgan heist movie.
Yeah.
It's not about a heist. I mean, there's a theft,
Yeah.
but the heist is not what's
Yeah,
going
but there's not a
shouldn't
bunch of
call-
montage shit in
It's
it.
a shame because they shouldn't call it that then.
Yeah.
Because that's if
Like,
I
why did you
if
name
I-
this movie Heist?
If I saw the movie called Heist, I literally not
Yeah.
a fan. It's usually not my genre. Not that I haven't seen all the Ocean's movies, and I've seen Italian Job, and I
Another Charlize
like-
Theron. I love her.
I like a couple of those movies. It's just generally if it's a heist movie, I'm like, pass. But Logan Lucky is so good.
It is.
And also, I love that the movie shows the previews show all of these characters who you're like, oh, these guys are going to be dirtbags.
Mhm.
But like Meg Ryan's son and Dennis Quaid's son.
Oh, Jack Quaid.
Jack
Yeah.
Quaid. Those two guys, the biggest hillbillies in the movie, arguably, end up being great guys.
Yeah.
No, all the Twitters.
Right. Fucking Daniel Craig's character in the previews, they show him. You think he's gonna be a sleazebag? Totally not.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, he blows
They-
shit up and steals
They
shit.
show,
but-
but I mean, as far as like, they're actually like the movie is actually pretty progressive as far as like how they talk about women.
like
and,
everybody's a gentleman.
yeah, and you're like, this is interesting.
How is this happening?
It's a weird twist though. Like it's almost like an M Night Shyamalan twist of the movie. You're
Yeah.
like, these guys are like good. Remember, there's like one scene where
The M. Night
Jack,
Shyamalan twist is that Channing Tatum can act. Sort of.
I mean, he's been in other.
He doesn't
movies.
have a lot of range.
I think he's been in other movies where I think Channing Tatum's great, actually.
I've always been okay with him.
I mean, Dude, 21 and 22 Jump Street are so good.
Are they? I didn't see either one of them.
I think they're hilarious.
I heard they wanted to make a 23 Jump Street that was like an alien invasion or something. Like just completely like mix it with Men in Black or something.
I think they did. And I think first off, I heard that 23 Jump Street. So they wanted to say that 21 and 22 Jump Street were in the same universe as Men in Black.
Right.
So then they wanted to do like a bunch of stuff with that. And then that basically the studios were like, nah. So then instead in 22 Jump Street, they show and in the end credits, they show a bunch of stuff where they keep showing sequels, like keep showing ideas for sequels in the end credits. And they keep doing different weird, stupid shit. And it's like, that's hilarious. I actually really like Channing Tatum. I think he's a fantastic actor.
I don't have a huge problem with him. I just think that like,
dude, if fucking
I haven't seen him in anything that's like that sets him apart really. From
to me, Channing Tatum's a lot like Rob Pattinson. I think there's still people out there who are like, fucking Rob Pattinson, he was in Twilight, and I'm like,
I want to see that Lighthouse movie though. I heard it's amazing.
It's another one that I want to sit down and watch, but I want to do it like midday. So
I have to have the.
I also love how many people these days are like, Ben Affleck is Batman. Fuck that. He's amazing. He's actually my favorite Batman. And then people are like, Rob Pattinson's the Batman. Oh my god. I'm like, dude, give them the benefit of the doubt, man. People hated Michael Keaton.
I'm so excited that he's coming back as his Batman.
Yeah, I'm scared.
I think it'll be great.
I think it will too. I'm scared that he's going to be the only old Batman. This is what I want for the Flashpoint movie. I want him to be Batman in a Batman Beyond universe. Because you can fuck with the story any way you want.
Right.
So you're doing Flashpoint. So let's say he goes to the future at one point. Michael Keaton is there and he has a young Batman. Let's like lay some eggs, plant some seeds for a Batman Beyond movie. I would love that. Okay. Then I still want to see a different universe where Jeffrey Dean Morgan is Thomas Wayne.
Yeah.
And he's the Batman. Okay.
And Martha's the Joker. Because fuck yeah.
Then I still want them to revive this and fix this. And I'm really hoping the Snyder Cut helps. Let's still keep Ben as the main Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Also, though, because they're already doing the movie and we already know what's going to happen, let's show another universe where Rob Pattinson is a young Batman.
Yeah.
I think you can. You can do it.
And DC has shown that it's willing to do that because they did that with the Superman mixture on whatever
CW.
Supergirl, CW.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and they've done it with they did it with the Flash TV show. On the Flash TV show, Gustin Grant's Flash has a brief moment with the Flash from the
Ezra
movie.
Miller's
Flash. With Ezra Miller. So So I'm saying you don't have to do you don't have to do Flashpoint directly from the comic.
Right.
I'm saying fuck with it a little.
Especially since that would really fuck with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Like Gal Gadot has built up such a positive image for that character that to turn her into Flashpoint. I mean, if there was just like a scene of her killing Aquaman's people or something,
sure,
like whatever, but don't make Flashpoint Wonder Woman like the focus of that character because she is not likable.
I say you fuck with the Batmans. I think even if it's just a brief moment where it's like let's show Ezra Miller as the Flash. Let's show him one scene at the very beginning of the movie where he's talking to Ben as Batman. And that's normal. So this universe's Batman is Ben Affleck. He's the old Batman.
I wonder if he'd be down for that. He seems to be done with the.
I know, but that's why I'm hoping. So that's where my hope lies in the Snyder Cut.
Maybe they talk him into coming for a bit.
I hope that Ben Affleck has seen enough stuff online to know that there is a fan base for his Batman. I know that they had all those reviews and all that stuff, but and so many people talked shit or whatever. But I hope that he's dug enough into the internet to see that there is a population of people you, me, Ron, there's other people, these people that have wanted this Snyder cut for years, right? Who are like, hey, by the way, I actually liked Batman vs. Superman. There's stuff about it I can pick apart.
Yeah.
But also, I genuinely enjoy the movie. I liked it. And I even liked shitty Justice League. I liked the bad version of Justice League.
Yeah.
Granted, I want to see the good version of Justice League.
I'm past wanting more Joss Whedon, J.J. Abrams stuff.
Oh, me too.
When they didn't have budgets, their shit was great.
Yeah.
But as soon as they started getting budgets, with the exception of maybe the first Avengers movie, because I think Joss did a good job with that.
Yeah.
But there's so much that I don't know. Let them do more with less instead of just heaping money at them.
Yeah.
Because it almost without fail, a lot of these guys get a bunch of money and just they lean into special effects or whatever. Like you go back and watch Cloverfield.
Yep.
It's a great monster movie, and you barely have to see the monster. Yep. They jazzed with that one, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Just, shrink those movie budgets down. There's some of those people have names. You could do a $30 million movie and give them something on the back end, and everybody makes more money.
I guess what I was saying is I know that Ben is turned off towards the movies, but I was one of the ones I was critical of the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like juggalos, and I think they were pandering to those people for Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah,
is what I meant. Yeah, and he's also got all the tattoos damaged and stuff. However, when I watched Batman vs Superman, because I actually saw them out of order. I saw Suicide Squad first, and then I watched Batman vs Superman. I was like, okay, I'm not a fan of the Joker with Jared Leto because of the tattoos and stuff. However, I would entertain a movie where Ben Affleck is Batman and Jared Leto is that Joker. Where Ben Affleck is this seasoned, old Bruce Wayne, right? And then Joker is this young, well, even though they're they're pretty close to the same age.
Mm-hmm.
But like Joker is this piece of shit, fucking gangster, dumb, but I like that version. I thought they were gonna do, because remember Batman vs Superman, they kind of teased like Death in the Family and Under the Red Hood. Man, I would have loved to have seen that movie.
Who would be your pick to play Jason Todd for that?
That's a tough one.
Super tough.
So I think if we're just gonna fuck with everything, you got Ben Affleck in there. I would be okay with a Zac Efron.
Yeah.
He was really good in the Jeffrey Dahmer, the other serial killer, Ed Gein movie. Or not Ed Gein. Who was he? He was
he played Jeffrey Dahmer.
Did he?
No, it wasn't Dahmer.
Or it was yeah, they've done
it was a Netflix serial killer movie.
It wasn't Dahmer. The main guy, Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
Yeah, they've done so many Bundys.
So he was good in that. I think he's a great actor. I think as a serious role, he would do a really good job. But I also could see them going like another route and trying to make him lesser known.
Yeah. Going with somebody who wasn't somebody.
I think the better question is who would be Dick Grayson? Who would be Nightwing in that movie?
Yeah.
Because we have to assume Nightwing's happened, right? Like,
yeah. So, how old was Batman when he found Robin? It's so hard to nail that down.
So
Batman's been in his mid-30s for most of his...
I put Batman in his late 20s to take Dick Grayson in.
Okay.
Like 28, 29. I put him in his 30s for Jason Todd. I put him in his 40s for Tim Drake.
Mm-hmm. And pushing 50 for Damian.
For Damian, yeah. But I say that because I like old man Batman, though.
I think Tom Holland would make a great Tim Drake.
See, that'd be cool.
I'd be all right with that. Speaking of, he's playing something Drake in the they're making a movie. He's doing something with Mark Wahlberg right now.
Okay.
Uncharted.
Oh, there
He's
you go.
playing Nathan Drake.
That's
and
pretty cool.
Mark Wahlberg is playing his.
So Tom
mentor.
Holland would be a great Tim Drake. So then for the Flashpoint though, so we just outlined all of like Batfleck if they could get him back, if they could. We'll see what happens with the Snyder Cut. I think you introduce a Batman Beyond world where it's Tim Burton's world,
right?
Where you got old man Michael Keaton and a young Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Which I think would be a great movie. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But I feel like
10 years ago, I would have pegged somebody like Michael B. Jordan to do the Beyond Batman.
Oh yeah.
But he's too old now.
Yeah.
But
he would have been good though.
About 10 years ago, and Michael Keaton would have been fine as old Batman then, because they could have.
Well, that's why I'm kind of hoping, even so, like in that sense, I'm hoping in the next Spider-Man movie, I'm hoping they actually have Donald Glover be Prowler.
Yeah.
I mean, he's supposed to be that character. He's that character.
Uh-huh.
But I want to see him actually be Prowler, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll see what they do. I really do think the Snyder Cut will be a make or break I think it'll be a make or break for Ben. I think he's I think Ben's a little sensitive. Ben Affleck is.
Yeah.
I think he sees things. He reads things online. I think he gets sensitive. Hopefully he spent this last years seeing that there is an outcry of people who do actually like.
I think the only thing that he's been in that I didn't like him in was Good Will Hunting. I just didn't like Chucky, the character. It's nothing against him. I just didn't like the character.
I cleared out a bunch of Chucky the character's wardrobe from my kids' old clothes yesterday.
I mean, I would say for me, so there's a lot of movies that he's in that he gets flack for, though. So he only got one chance to be
retainer.
I like Some of All Fears.
Mm.
He only got one chance to be Jack Ryan. I actually like that movie.
And I think Chasing Amy is probably the best of Kevin Smith's movies.
When it was originally announced that
Agreed.
that Ben Affleck was going to not only be Batman, but he was going to write and direct 3 Batman movies.
I was
excited. Genuinely really excited. He's a really good director.
Yeah,
he's a great writer.
The Town.
He's also.
The Town.
It also gave me hope because I thought that
Jerry Renner.
I figured he would tap into Kevin Smith
for that
for the 3 movies.
Yeah,
because why not? Why if you're friends with the guy already, why not tap into his knowledge for Batman?
Yeah,
even Kevin Smith at the time had done his podcast where they had announced those, and but Kevin Smith was so excited for Ben to do those movies. It was just a shame. It's a shame none of that went through.
Yeah, and a lot of it was the Whedonization of I
feel like Justice League killed it dead.
Yeah,
because Batman vs Superman was divisive, but it made its money.
And it was good.
There's a population that likes it.
And my only complaint is that Lex Luthor. I just don't like him.
It was him. But even then in Justice League at the very end, where he shaved his head, and he's like, we should have a league of our own. I was like, it was kind of like my friend says, my friend Jared talks about Jared Leto in Suicide Squad and how he hated him. But he talks about that one scene where you see towards the end of the movie when you see Jared Leto wearing the suit, wearing like the tuxedo and stuff, and it's like that scene in Peter Pan, like Hook, and he's like, "Oh, there you are, Peter." That's how I felt with Lex Luthor too. When actually his head was shaved and he's talking to Deathstroke and he's like, "What if we had a league of our own?" I was like, "Oh, there you are, Peter." Like, that's what we needed. This.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful on that, and I'm hopeful on Marvel going forward. Yeah. I've heard Galactus and I've heard Doctor Doom, and I'm primed for both.
I say Doom and Doom only.
I
say you do the
Owen Benjamin, or not Owen Benjamin. Who am I thinking? Clive
Owen Wilson.
Clive Owen.
I like Clive Owen.
Owen Wilson is Doctor Doom.
Wow. Doctor Doom. I say you do Doctor Doom, and I say you do the newer version of the Secret Wars, and then and that's how you get the X-Men in it too, is because you can fuck with the timelines
and what they could do, they could start big.
Yeah.
With the big shoot 'em up movie, because they can do that. They know they can do it.
Just split off.
Yeah. And then you can wipe out characters that don't want to do it anymore. I know there's people involved who don't want to be in Marvel anymore. They're just like, yeah, it's been a decade. I can be done.
I also feel like there's people in Marvel. I mean, there's people who
will never leave.
Hugh Jackman said that he's done doing Wolverine, but as soon as Disney bought Fox, he was like, yeah, I would play him again.
Yeah, he and Patrick Stewart were like, we're done doing
they both
Fox
were done.
X-Men movies.
Right. But as soon as Disney bought him out, I read that thing online where Chris Hemsworth reached out to Hugh Jackman to be like, hey, do you think you would ever do Wolverine for like our Marvel movie? And he was like, oh yeah, I would do it.
Yeah.
If it's in good hands, he'll do it.
Well,
granted, Logan was great.
Logan was fantastic.
Logan was a great movie.
I didn't mind. What's the one with Liev Schreiber?
It was
Wolverine.
Wolverine, yeah.
I didn't think that one was terrible.
It's a bad movie, but Liev Schreiber was great in it, and there was parts of it that were really great.
Right.
It was just they had fucked up Deadpool.
And as we've discussed
weird
before,
execution, yeah.
that fucking bit, the opening credit sequence is one of the best ever filmed.
Yeah.
That should have been the movie. Oh, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Oh, you're gonna let's show him fight every war that's ever been fought.
Right. It was great. I love that.
Since North America's been a place.
Let's call it. It was good though. It was I love that movie.
Hey, do you want to pick a track here?
Yeah.
You want Charles in Charge?
Yeah,
here you go.
Charles in Charge.
Before I have my joke before we go. That's not a great joke, but
That's
it's basically everybody's all like up in arms about the bees and stuff. The bees are dying. The bees are dying. We don't have anything to worry about because millennials are all lazy.
Okay.
So they're not gonna do the work that's killing the bees.
Oh yeah.
So the bees are gonna be okay.
That's true.
As soon as like the millennials take over like the normal workforce, then
the bees will be fine.
The bees will be fine.
Sadly,
the bees will rebound.
Will die before those millennials even get to that part. But yeah.
No, that's not an optimistic view.
I think they're on the bee bound.
They're on the bee bound because
Yeah.
they're selling bee kits and shit to people.
There's bees all over my yard.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay. The millennials will come in and they'll be like, "We're not gonna build bridges and shit."
Wanna.
Yeah.
You never know. I think there's a big, quiet group of millennials who aren't shitbags, and there's just a few people.
There has to be.
There's a very vocal, very small minority on the internet who make all this fucking noise. But you know what? You walk around the world, you walk around in different towns, you see different people. People aren't as fucked up as it seems when you're looking at them on the internet.
Too. Road construction still happens.
Yeah.
There's like you can't just chalk that all up to blue collar.
Right.
It's there's still something going on.
There's hope for the future.
Yeah.
I think there's more hope than the internet would lead you to believe.
Well, the internet's the worst thing that's ever happened to humanity.
I hate to give all you fucking people hope, but I think the future's going to be just fine.
Yeah. Sadly.
New boy in the neighborhood lives downstairs and it's understood. He's there just to take good care of me, like he's one of the family. Charles in charge of our days and our nights. Charles in charge of our wrongs and our rights. And I say, I want Charles in charge of me. Charles in charge of our days and our nights. 'Cause that's not creepy. Charles in charge of our
Thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. Make sure you check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/timespentpoorly. Make sure you check out timespentpoorly.com or .fun, tspn.fun, youtube.com /timespentpoorly, facebook.com timespentpoorly network.
Yes. Same for Instagram.
Twitter @TSPN Media, @Dark on TSPN.
I know. I got to fix that.
And @Hudds Magruder. Well, what a great show. It was fun. I had fun.
It's good to be back.
It
was fun to get back in here.
It was.
And
we'll see you live
soon.
in 2 weeks.
Yep.
But also make sure you check out Smart Mark Wrestling Radio.
Oh, yeah. We will see you Thursday.
Yeah, it's
We'll be here
Thursday.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Big
Later.
sweaty man.